Alrighty, test 1 2, test 1 2 1 2, test 1 2.
Testing. 1 2 1 2 1 2. Testing.
Alrighty, sounds good. See you.
I don't feel good today. I'm not gonna lie.
You ain't Marv. Neither of us are Marv.
I actually don't remember how his voice sounds.
It's very loud and powerful. I can't do a Marv, I really can't. But it's very loud and powerful and littered with F-bombs.
Him and Kevin are opposites on like styles.
Oh yeah, Kevin's definitely more professional, but Marv's a loose cannon, and that's why everybody loves him.
That's true. Kevin's peak professionalism.
Well,
Marv is
Marv.
peak emotion.
Marv will come in. I know I'm gonna have a good day at work, and I walk in, the first thing I hear is Marv just like a stickle.
And a very good evening to you and yours. We are here at Curry Sports Complex here in Springfield for the opening round of district football as the Waynesville Tigers take to the road as the 6th seed in this 7-team district to take on the 3 seed, the Springfield Central Bulldogs. Connor Harbert here with you today, Z102.3. Glad you could join me here today. Joining alongside me, of course, is Garrett Bowles. He will stick to the color here today. As we get to this opening round of the districts, we've got a lot of interesting games in this first round, but this one definitely has piqued a lot of people's interest. 2 former Ozark Conference rivals taking part here today, but of course, one team not in the Ozark Conference anymore. The independent Springfield Central Bulldogs spending a lot of time playing other teams from around the area. And of course, we'll get into all that because I'm sure a lot of people have heard about the schedule of Central and kind of the wrinkle that throws into today's game. But Waynesville trying to really right the ship a little bit here. Of course, kind of coming in on a losing streak, a couple of heartbreaker losses, the loss to West Plains last week. Garrett, it's been a rough couple weeks for Waynesville, but the good thing about district football is at this point, all you got to do is win. None of the regular season matters anymore. Just keep on winning.
You're absolutely right, Connor. It is playoff football, baby. I am so excited to be here in this booth calling this game. Probably one of the games with the most intrigue out of all the close-by games in the area, but you're absolutely right. And the records don't matter. The stats don't matter. This is no longer regular season. This is postseason. This is where it all comes down to the wire, where it all matters most, and where you really have 2 teams who could be seen as having similar skill levels. We don't know a whole lot right now.
We don't know. That is the point. That's kind of the point we're trying to make here. There's a lot of question marks here with this Central Bulldog squad coming in as the 3 seed, 7-2 on the year, but they don't quite play the level of opponent. I think that is very fair to say. They don't quite play the level of opponent that Waynesville really does. You take a look at their schedule for the year. The Bulldogs, they are a winning team. They are 7-2. They've gotten it done, but they're playing teams that are playing in Class 1, Class 2, a couple Class 3s on this year's schedule as well. So a lot of people may be talking about that. Could this team kind of be a paper tiger? Could Waynesville come in and beat this team? Of course, this game, a lot of people have this as an upset alert, but Waynesville, as we know, they're going to have to come in and play their hardest here today. This Springfield team, they're pretty talented. They have a lot of talent, for sure.
They really do, and whenever you look at the schedule that they've taken this year and you see Class 1, Class 2, Class 3, there are still several scores on here that are impressive no matter what. I mean, a win in Forsyth, 57-11, that's impressive no matter where any of the teams or the games are being played. Buffalo, 40-14, the exact same thing. Cuba, 55-8. These are not wins that they are eking by. This is definitely a talented ball club, and you see it in the film study. You see it in their athleticism, even running around on the field as they are now. You see it. This is not a team that's just going to roll over once the game starts. They're going to play hard, and it's going to be a very entertaining game, I'm sure.
Yeah, and absolutely. So some little background here, because I mentioned these 2 teams are former Ozark Conference opponents. Last time these 2 teams met, that was only a few years ago, back in 2019. These 2 teams actually played a couple of games here together. Of course, the Bulldogs kind of trying to rebuild. We all know about the long losing streak over a 5-season period, but it was really Waynesville who dominated those games. It was kind of a similar situation for everybody, but Waynesville, a good team there in 2019. First game won it 77-0. Drew them again in district play. Waynesville was the 1 seed in a 4-seed district and ended up taking that second game 83-0 there as well. But that really does not matter. That is just simple history at this point. And hopefully, and as of course we'll hear Coach Barkley mention in a couple minutes, our very own Marv Luton got an opportunity to speak with head coach Kyle Barkley before today's game. You still have the seniors on this year's team who remember those games. You got to avoid trying to remember that. You got to try to put that in the back of your head, say that was a different year. Those were different players. This year's team, much more confident, filled with winners. We got to come out there and we got to play Waynesville football.
You're absolutely
really nothing
right.
more to it.
And it's the same thing on the Central side. I mean, you said 5 years almost of a losing streak. That is difficult to come back from as a program and as an entire school. And so in the interview with Coach Shem Johnson, he was able to talk about kind of rebuilding that team from the ground up and maybe taking slightly lesser competition and just teaching the guys how to win, teaching them how to go out there, play a full 4 quarters, something that Waynesville has struggled with over the past couple of weeks, get into games and win. So even though there's all this talk about Class 1, Class 2, Class 3, A win is a win, and these Central players are confident. They are riding high right now with a big-time winning record. That's got to give them a huge confidence boost, but at the same time, you got to be careful. You got to be able to avoid the upset here tonight. It's going to take a lot of focus.
Yeah, absolutely. This is Class 5 football. So we'll talk about the other district games here in a little bit, but first we are going to go ahead and jump off to our first coaches interview here today. We've, of course, got to speak with both head coaches prior to today's broadcast. Our very own Marv Luton got an opportunity to speak with head coach Kyle Barkley of the Waynesville Tigers. We'll take ourselves a 1-minute break. We'll have that interview for you, and we'll be back after a minute after that. But again, we are about 23 and a half minutes away from opening kickoff today. Springfield Central and Waynesville. You're listening to Tiger Football right here on Z102.3. And once again, welcome back here to the Curry Sports Complex here in Springfield, Missouri. We are about 19 minutes away from opening kickoff here today. Again, the first round of district football. The number 6 seeded Waynesville Tigers set to take on the number 3 seed in the Springfield Central Bulldogs. Connor Harbert here with you today alongside Garrett Bowles. Garrett, we just heard from Coach Kyle Barkley here and, of course, mentioned quite a few players maybe hurt, maybe a little bit banged up here. The West Plains game, very physical. We saw a couple players unfortunately go down due to injury that won't be playing here today for sure. But we really look at what Waynesville's accomplished here in the last few weeks. And I mentioned it earlier, a couple of heartbreaking losses. This is a team that's really maybe 2 bad quarters away from being 4-5 and maybe earning that 5 seed, maybe even earning that 4 seed. But with the way things have shaken out here, and again, kind of it goes back to what we said at the beginning of the broadcast. This is a brand new season, really. It's play until you lose kind of season. It's single elimination, but you can put all that behind you here. But it has to be said, Waynesville really has had trouble kind of closing games out here today. Or this season, I should say. That
has really been their biggest struggle of the year. Of course, every team goes through ups and downs where you have your struggles and you have your turnover issues and your brain mess-ups every once in a while, I guess, just like I did right there. But throughout the course of the season, you're going to have those. But whenever you have a common problem like Waynesville has had, where it's been about 3 or 4 games this season where they might not have been winnable, but they should have definitely been closer than they were. And then, of course, my brain goes back to the Bolivar game, which was heartbreaking and could definitely have an effect on the players long-term for the rest of the season. You have to find a way to get around that. A lot of teams have the approach that they're just going to go in, they're going to win, and everything's going to be fine. A lot of teams like to hyper-focus on every single little thing that went wrong. I don't know what the answer is for Waynesville, but I know Coach Kyle Barkley is definitely looking for one throughout the course of this past week, and I'm sure that he is going to give it his all, and the players are going to hopefully see it translate onto the field tonight.
Absolutely. So just a refresher for you, Waynesville is coming into this ball game on a 3-game losing streak. Losses to Bolivar, which of course Garrett mentioned earlier, the 34-26 loss there. Waynesville dropping a 19-point lead in the 4th quarter. The week after that, 21-20 against Rolla, leading with just a minute and a half left to go in that 4th quarter. A very successful Rolla drive, of course, kind of sealing the deal for the Bulldogs there in that one. And then last week, the 43-18 loss to West Plains, where the Zizzers just kind of controlled the tempo of the game from the offensive side, I should say, from the get-go. But if there's really something we could be said here about Waynesville, maybe on the positive side, even in the midst of this losing streak, the offense has really started to shine. They've really started to kind of get to that 20, 25 point per game mark here, and you're really starting to see players start to dominate a little bit. Michael Kelsey Jr. in the couple weeks that he's played, of course, sat out the Rolla game due to injury. Chase Thomas Plummer, he's routinely turning in near triple-digit numbers each and every week. You're really starting to see these players shine, and if they can keep that momentum coming in here to districts, well, as we mentioned, Springfield Central could be on upset alert here tonight if this Waynesville offense shows up the way it has been the last few weeks.
That's absolutely right. This is a team that, while we did highlight all of the difficulties of the team, they do have the building blocks, they have the athletes, they have the coaching, they have everything you need. It's just about tying it together, and if you can do that, you hopefully can make a playoff run.
Absolutely. So kind of a little bit of whiplash here. We're going to switch back over to Springfield Central now as we're going to go ahead and take our next break here. We've got a minute, then we've got our interview. Garrett had an opportunity to talk with Central head coach Shem Johnson. Of course, coach of the Bulldogs had an opportunity to talk a little bit about the schedule and the things, kind of the challenges that the Central Bulldogs have faced over the last couple of years. So again, 1 minute in, we'll have that interview for you. 1 minute back out. You're listening to Tiger Football right here on Z102.3. And once again, welcome back here to the Curry Sports Complex in Springfield, Missouri. Harrison Stadium as well, awaiting the opening kickoff of today's football contest, the opening week of districts. Again, the number 6 seed, the Waynesville Tigers, taking on the number 3 seed, the Springfield Central Bulldogs. Connor Harbert here with you today alongside Garrett Bowles. Of course, you just heard from Coach Shem Johnson of the Central Bulldogs. And, of course, Garrett, you were the one who sat down and talked with him, obviously. So what more can you tell me about this Bulldog squad? What's kind of the read you were getting when you were kind of looking into it, when you're doing some research on what they bring to the table?
Well, honestly, casting aside some of the research and the X's and O's and everything like that, one of the first things that Coach Shem Johnson told me about this team, I was expecting a deep answer about disguising coverages or maybe something about a new scheme they've drawn up. He simply said these kids are faster than any kids he has ever coached, and that's something that can get you very, very far in the high school game. So I'm excited to see the full-speed sprints that we got going on out here tonight. It's going to be important. Waynesville, also a very athletic team, but I'm not sure if they're exactly on the athletic level of Central, so they'll have to beat them with either their size or with the X's and O's, which is fairly simple to get done. You just got to be able to scheme around that speed, double cover guys when necessary, blitz correctly, bring pressure when necessary. That's the biggest part of the offense for Central that might cause some issues for the Tigers, and same thing on the defense. These guys are fast, and if a blitz is not picked up, the quarterback or the runner, the ball carrier, will be down within milliseconds of taking that handoff. So you've got to be able to make adjustments before the snap, make adjustments during the snap, and then make adjustments for the speed pretty much throughout the game. That's going to be the biggest challenge for the Tigers tonight.
Absolutely. And so we take a look at this Central roster as a whole, a fairly experienced roster. Several seniors on this year's team who, of course, might remember the last time these two teams played. And we talked about how much Waynesville needs to look past that game. Garrett, how much do you think that matters for the seniors on this Central team? The last time they saw Waynesville kind of ran them out of the stadium. How much do you think that matters to those Central seniors?
Well, I think it matters a whole lot. I mean, I've taken a quote from the NFL. One of the big stories right now is Geno Smith coming back into the league and just absolutely setting the world on fire. They wrote him off, but he didn't write back. I think that's what the Central Bulldogs are feeling right now. Yeah, you had our number a few years ago. Yeah, we weren't the team that we are now, but we're winning now. We have 7-2, a 7-2 record on the season. They are here to show that they are completely different kids, completely differently coached, and they are a completely different and better team. That's what's got to be going through the heads of those seniors and really the entire Bulldog roster.
Yeah, absolutely. Media-friendly and immediately trademarkable. Geno Smith, of course, and then proceeding to kind of, well, still lead the Jets to a pretty solid record, all things considered. So it is what it is. But anyway, of course, approaching opening kickoff here today. We are about 3 minutes away, so we're going to go ahead and take one final timeout. When we come back, we'll have the opening coin toss for you. We'll have that kickoff. Again, coming back in 2 minutes. Let's make it a 2-minute break. You're listening to Tiger Football right here on Z102.3. And once again, welcome back here to Harrison Stadium in the Curry Sports Complex, the home of both Springfield Central and the Division II Drury sides. Connor Harbin here with you today alongside Garrett Bowles. The first week of district football. Of course, this the 3-6 matchup. The number 6 seed Waynesville Tigers set to take on the number 3 seeded Springfield Central Bulldogs. Just a quick rundown of the district bracket. Other games going on here today who will not be playing. Number 1 seed Camdenton earned a bye into next week, so expect them next week to take on the winner of our next contest that I'll be mentioning. 4 and 5, I do believe. That would be, of course, the 4 seed Glendale Falcons taking on the number 5 seed Rolla Bulldogs. That, of course, an intriguing matchup. Glendale knocking off Camdenton last week. We could see another meeting between those two teams, depending on the outset of this week. And then, of course, you have the 3-6 here. Then you have the 2-7 Lebanon at home taking on the Branson Pirates. The winner of that game faces the winner of this game. So if Waynesville comes out with it here today, they will either take on Lebanon, who of course is the favorite in that contest by a long shot, or the Branson Pirates. Of course, if Waynesville and Branson both pull off the upset, next week's game would be at home. Again, not the strongest chance that that happens. Of course, Lebanon very, very strong, 8-1, and of course, Branson 1-7. But we'll see how things go, of course, here tonight. So the opening coin toss, of course, brought to you by Security Banks. Toss your coins in Security Bank and watch your money grow. Thank you so much for sponsoring our broadcast here this season. We are set to get away. Any final thoughts, Garrett, before we get going?
I think usually my final thought is to get on the field and score early to whichever team is wanting to win this game tonight. And I think that's important, especially in the playoffs, for all the reasons that we've stated throughout the season. Also, I think if you're Central right now, there has to be maybe a little bit of doubt in your head. You've been going through the media, you've been going through, no doubt they're checking Twitter, they're checking Instagram, the websites, what the different articles are saying about them. They're all saying the same thing and asking the same questions. Can the Bulldogs handle a Class 5 school? I think if you get down here and you score, if you're Central, that does huge things for you. And if you're Waynesville driving down the field and score, that might get those doubts in Central Bulldogs' heads to maybe grow just a little bit. I mean, football obviously is a very physical game, but it's mental as well, and that is multiplied by a million whenever the playoffs are involved.
All righty, so my big hullabaloo, my big hurry to mention the coin toss, forgot to tell you who won the coin toss. Waynesville will be kicking away to start off the first half. Haven't seen them kick off to begin the game in quite some time, in fact. Do want to mention it's been 4 or 5 weeks since we've seen them kick off, and the kick is away. It's going to be returned here at about the 23-yard line. Coming up the middle of the field here, Central going to break free into the second line. They're going to be finding themselves all the way to the 45-yard line, and that is where the Bulldogs will take over for their opening drive. On the kickoff, by the way, that was a new kicker here for Waynesville. Nico Fowl doing the kicking duties here tonight. Not the most solid kick we've seen. Of course, Mason Wright handling kicking duties. He is out hurt here today, but it's going to be a strive just shy of midfield here for the Bulldogs.
And it was a great return for McCoast Vaughn. He is a senior wide receiver cornerback, and that's the speed of the Bulldogs that we said earlier. It can bite you in a multiplicity of ways.
Quarterback keeper here on first down, trying to get to the sideline, going to find his way across midfield to the 45 and the 40 before he's finally pushed out of bounds. That was Antonio Starks-Fue, who finds his way into Waynesville territory. So there you go, showing off the speed here early. Very simple play. Quarterback keeper fakes the handoff, tries to find his way as quickly to the sideline as possible, turns it upfield and gets himself a first down. First down and 10, ball on the Waynesville 38-yard line.
And I think I'm going to say the word speed more than anything else in this game tonight, and that's how explosive this team can be. They might not throw it as often as some other bigger schools, but they're going to run it right down your throat.
Here's a handoff on the new set of downs. Charging forward. Getting about 6 or 7 yards, but there is going to be an injured Bulldog here on the play. Looks to be in pain here, so we're going to go ahead and take ourselves an injury timeout as the trainers come out onto the field very quickly into this ball game. Springfield Central driving into Waynesville territory. It'll be 2nd down and 4, ball on the 32-yard line. Make it a 60-second break for now. 11:34 left to go in the first quarter. You're listening to Tiger Football right here on Z102.3. Back here once again at Harrison Stadium. Back to action here. 2nd down and 4. Tell you a little bit about the injury here in just a moment. Shotgun formation. Here's a handoff. Charging forward. That's going to be Christian Caldwell. Takes it to about the 30-yard line. Here for a gain of about 2. And that'll give us our first 3rd down of the game. 3rd down and 2. Ball on the Waynesville 30-yard line.
And that was number 6, Christian Caldwell, who's
listed as a punter kicker. I think we might have some wrong numbers. We'll have to try to check on that here in just a little bit. Here's another handoff. Bouncing off to the right, past the 30-yard line, still running, and it looks like he's going to get his first down after a bit of a second effort. Again, that's going to be number 6, who I do not think is the punter kicker. I think that actually is going to be a player listed as number 84. That's what the PA man's saying. That's Tayshawn McShane on the carry, listed as a tailback. So lines up there. Either way, McShane, he's going to give himself a first down. First down and 10 on the Waynesville 26-yard line.
And we've talked about speed a lot, or I've talked about speed a lot, but the ability to maintain his balance there, very impressive.
McShane again here on first down, push backwards. This time going to go for a loss. No second effort this time. It's the Waynesville defensive line on him very, very early. Looks like leading the way there for the Tigers. That was Jacob Forche, first man to the ball. 2nd down, and it's going to be 2nd down about 10.5.
Forche just seems to pop up a couple times a game making good plays. You know, he's one of those guys you can put him at a lot of different positions, put him in the ball game, and expect great things, and he showed it right there.
2nd down, again, 10.5 to go. Faking the wide receiver reverse, going to the air for the first time. Chased out of the pocket. Now going to throw up the right sideline, but the ball is going to be overthrown. Had a man about the 10-yard line. Intended receiver on the play, Rowan Hart. Have to check with the PA guy for pretty much every number from henceforth, but Rowan Hart was the intended receiver on the play. That'll bring up 3rd down and 10, still on the 26-yard line.
And that was a scary play for the Tigers. You get kind of bailed out there because the quarterback got a little bit off balance, but he was wide open, and he could have made a run at the end zone right there.
So here we go, 3rd down and 10. Paul on the 26-yard line. Just under 10 minutes to go in the quarter. Rolling out to his left. Still looking for a target, now going to keep it himself here towards the sideline. Taken out of bounds around the 28-yard line, or should I say the 22-yard line. It's going to be a short gain, not enough for the first. Of course, in 4-down territory, it's going to be 4th down and 6 here on the carry by Antonio Starks-Fue.
Who's really impressed with his ability to get out of the pocket tonight. Already there's been 2 or 3 plays where the defense of the Tigers and the pass rush has been impressive, and we've noted that it's been getting better throughout the course of the season. But when you have a mobile quarterback like this, you've got to bring pressure at all angles.
So here we go, 4th down and 6. Waynesville trying to find a stop here on the first drive of the game. Starks-Fue looking to go to the air once again. Rolling out to his right, being chased from behind, trying to find his target. Pass is caught at about the 7-yard line. Making the catch. Pushed out of bounds. And that's going to make it 1st down and goal. So Central showing no fear in going to the air. I know, Garrett, you mentioned maybe not going to go to the air as much. We know Waynesville has struggled at times to contain the passing game. Central may be keying in on that here at the moment. They've got it 1st down and goal from the 9.
Yeah, when you have a dynamic passer who can get out of the pocket and throw like this, you got to use him.
Starks-Fue going to keep it himself here. Spins off of one would-be tackler, but he's going to find himself only a couple on 1st down and goal. Gets himself to about the 8-yard line here. Maybe they'll give him the 7, and they do. So make it a gain of 2. 2nd down and goal now from the 7. 3 minutes off the clock here in this game's opening drive. The football right in front of us in the press box here today. Definitely a unique press box. Placed on the 20-yard line. I did some field renovations, did not move the press box. So right now we are in front of the action here. Things will kind of swap the other way. We'll be a little bit far away from the action. But as it stands, it is 2nd down and goal from the 7.
The 7 that we can see very well.
Yes, the 7 that we can see. Absolutely, and hopefully once, of course, we swap sides, we can see some Waynesville touchdowns right in front of us here today. But first, we'll have a timeout on the field. Timeout taken by Central. Apparently some miscommunication there as they will go ahead and burn that first timeout. So we'll take a timeout too. 8:45 left to go in this first quarter. Still no score, but the Bulldogs are knocking on the door. You're listening to Tiger Football right here on Z102.3. as we get back to it, a huge loss on second down and goal. Make it a tune of 13 yards, trying to go to the air. But trying to get away from the immediate rush, Antonio Starks-Fue actually made it a little bit worse there, trying to sneak away, trying to use some of his spin moves. Ends up losing 13, so how about third down and goal from the 20 as we get back to it.
We talked a few seconds ago, actually, about the Tiger defense getting pressure more consistently. It was put on full display right there. Central quarterback had nowhere to go.
Yeah, Starks-Fue has definitely had to move out of the pocket so far here tonight. He's going to try it again here. This time has a little bit more time. Now under pressure, has to roll out to the right. Heading towards the sideline. He's being rushed by 3 Tigers. Has to watch that sideline. He's all the way back to the 50-yard line. Still on his feet as he now crosses back into Central territory. Still looking to pass. Now going to try to find the end zone. That ball's picked off by Waynesville. What a play. That play took about 15 seconds, maybe even more, but it ends up in a goal line interception here for Waynesville. They'll take control.
I'll let you breathe for just a second, Connor, and break down what happened. I mean, my goodness. Once again, the defensive pressure of the Tigers forced the quarterback to hit the entire right side of the field. Next thing we know, he's all the way back up at the 50 at midfield, trying to come back, make a play happen, and that's something you like to see from your quarterback when it works, but sometimes it'll end up in a pick like that, and quite frankly, a very easily interceptable ball that was thrown right there. And so now we get to see the Tiger offense, but only at the 2-yard line, so not quite out of the way yet.
Yeah, the ball headed towards the goal line here as they're just going to try to rush it on out of here, pushing forward, shoving forward to about the 5-yard line before he's pushed backwards. We'll see where they spot it. Looks like on the carry that time round. I do believe that was Chase Thomas Plummer getting the carry. CTP, of course, has stepped up in a big way over the last few weeks. Really has stepped up the whole season, but has really shown his stuff these last few games. Gain of 3, second down and 7, now from the 5-yard line.
I wouldn't be surprised if he gets the ball again here. Very sure-handed wingback, tailback, as we see the Tigers do that funky little shift at the line that they like to do right there.
Trying to get Central to jump. Instead, it's going to be a quarterback keeper here. David Vernon into the secondary. He's past the 10-yard line to around the 12. Should be close to a first down, if not just already a first down. And that's going to be enough. So, how about a first down here? Was Waynesville buys themselves some breathing room. Still going to have to go 98 yards if they want to score on their opening drive. But a good start here. First down and 10, now on the 13.
And the cool part about the Waynesville offense, I mean, the Central Bulldogs fans have been screaming. They've been going crazy with exciting plays. The Waynesville Tiger offense is going to take some of that excitement out of them, no doubt, with their slow and methodical pace.
Yeah, we've seen the best drives for Waynesville this year have been the slowest ones. Here's CTP into the secondary once again. That's another big gain. Of course, I say that. CTP, as he often does, going to find himself about 15 here. It'll be first down and 10 once again from the 28. We know what they like to do. Slow, methodical. The running offense can take 5, 6, 7, 8-minute drives. The longest drive we've seen, 10 minutes this season. But we'll see how things go here today. These first couple runs, they've been slashing for 10, 9, 8. It's been pretty good so far. So here we go, first down and 10 once again, another shift. Ball shy of the right hash. CTP, the wingback, or should I say in the backfield. Faking the handoff, going to keep it himself here, but immediately mauled back in the backfield. That's going to be a loss of 2 or 3 here, because there was just nowhere to go for CTP. Working out of the backfield here today. Normally we see him start at that wingback slot, but trying to do it on his own there, faking the handoff. Not really wouldn't really have gone much either way. Central in the backfield fairly early on that play.
Yeah, Central defensive line was dominant right there. When it comes to those option plays, there's not a whole lot you can do if the offensive line doesn't hold up there. Central Bulldogs bowling through the O-line of the Tigers.
Second down and 12 now. Tyreek Brooks, by the way, operating as the wingback. Again, CTP in the backfield. This time, direct snap to Vernon. Vernon trying to bounce it out to his right, but again, not a whole lot of room. We're going to have our first third down of the drive, as it's going to be third down and about 11 after Vernon gains 1 on his second try of the game.
That'll be third down. That'll be third down.
These are some good plays that the Tigers are putting together. At this point in the game, it's impressive that they were able to get away from the goal line. That's such a terrifying place to be for an offense. So maybe Barkley doesn't want to avoid scoring a touchdown here, no doubt, but I think he's content with playing the field position game here and just letting the game kind of run its course.
You're always looking for that touchdown. Here's a direct snap. Vernon going to take it, hands it off to Brooks. Brooks trying to juke out to the right sideline, but he's wrapped up and taken down. Looks like the Bulldog on the tackle there. Another player I don't have on the roster. Might have to go check on that after the quarter, maybe at the half. But either way, the action on the field, it's going to be no gain on the play. 4th down 11, deep within Central territory. I think we're going to see Waynesville punt for the first time here tonight. Bishop Godwin on the field probably confirms that.
Nervous to go ahead and write punts down here on the scorebook, but I will do it. And
they're going to do it here as Godwin backs up. Of course, trouble last week against West Plains, a couple blocks. This one's going to get off cleanly, though.
Good punt,
solid punt, going to be fielded about the Central 40. Jukes out one defender here, now cuts back off to the left. To the sideline he goes, going to have some room. Jukes back across to the middle of the field, all the way down to the Waynesville 35. Did he lose it? No. Actually able to keep control of it. And so Central going to start their next drive in Waynesville territory here. So far, this game's been played pretty much in front of you and I, and that's not benefiting the Tigers here, as Central has shown, well, some of that speed you were talking about earlier, especially on that punt return there. Able to juke out one defender. Tigers trying to flow to the ball, jukes out a few more before he's finally taken down.
yeah, that's 2 returns in a row now that have really impressed me from the Bulldogs. I mean, Coach Shem Johnson, absolutely right. These kids are fast, and they are playing with intensity right now.
Shotgun formation, 2 wide receivers left. Starks Fue takes a snap. It's a handoff. McShane to the right sideline, able to keep off a couple would-be tacklers. Central showing a lot of good agility. Maybe not even direct speed there, as he's able to get 4 yards on the play, 2nd down and 6. Speed not the game there. How about agility? Following his blockers, things kind of stalled out there for a second, but he's able to get through the would-be gap and, well, ends up getting 4.
And that's what winning football teams do, especially whenever they're run heavy, able to trust his blockers, able to trust the guys making the holes for him, and then explode through when necessary.
Another handoff, McShane here, but this time he is going to be hit at the line and pushed back. This time, no gain. Looks like maybe the first Tiger in on that play. Let's see here. Looks like that was. Sorry, having to try to catch the number on the jersey there. Miguel Escobedo, how about that? First Tiger on that one. And that's going to make it 3rd down and 6. 3 minutes left to go here in quarter number 1.
Tao Ossie also on that tackle, able to disengage from his block really smoothly there and get a couple of hands on the tackle there.
Starks Fue looking to pass once again, but has a lot of room to run with it. Going to try to go for the sideline. Had an open man, but that ball's going to be dropped. Ooh, Waynesville maybe catching a bit of a break there. Had an open receiver. Nicoste Vaughn down there on the sideline. Had it in the hands, but just couldn't hang on.
That's the 2nd time now where the Waynesville Tigers have left a guy open and haven't had to pay for it quite yet. So we'll see if the fortunes turn one way or another in this game, but Barkley definitely not thrilled with the pass defense.
Yeah, absolutely. The open receivers have been there for Central. 4th down and 6. 4 wide receivers here for the Bulldogs. Starks Fue, McShane in the backfield. Going to send a man in motion. Fakes the handoff. Starks Fue looking to go to the air, looking out to his right, backing up. Now going to try to throw up the sideline. That ball's caught at the 20, and that's going to be enough for the first down here. As they sent the man in motion, just a simple little wheelbarrow route, kind of like what you would see in arena football. Maybe a bit of a deep cut there. I know arena football hasn't really been as relevant as it was, but a simple little wheelbarrow route there, turns it upfield. Nobody covered him there. Maybe a linebacker missing an assignment.
Yeah, that was a delayed route by the guy in motion right there. It looked like he was just trying to block. Looked like his only position or only job on that play was to create the motion and maybe get distracted, and then he leaked out onto the right side, able to get the first down right there. Good play call.
Bulldogs convert on 4th down, but here's a botch snap as Starks Fue is going to pick it up. He's going to have to try to just run this one himself. He's able to take it back to around the 25. Going to lose yardage. As again, you just see Starks Fue. He's just such an interesting player to watch from what we've seen thus far. He's not afraid to go backwards. On that play, runs away from the defenders, then is able to at least make it less of a loss. Can't call it a positive gain because it wasn't. It was still a loss of 3 for him on the rushing charts, but it is still better than what it could have been after the botch snap.
Absolutely right. Coach Shem Johnson, known for trusting his players, especially athletes like that. You'll take the bad if it comes with a whole lot of good, and sometimes with these Central Bulldogs, it certainly does.
Another fake handoff here. Starks Fue going to trip this time. Man in the grass got him, and he's going to take a quarterback sack for his troubles, as he's going to be taken down around the 29-yard line. It's going to be another loss about 4. And that's going to set up 3rd down and long here. Starks Fue this time, yeah, caught the snap, took one step, and, well, the man on the turf just didn't agree with it. Tripped him up, and he was taken down.
Yeah, and that's what can happen. The quarterback for the Bulldogs right here, taking a lot of hits early on in the game. Maybe the speed not coming as fast as it usually does for him right now. Another thing that could be happening as well is these Tigers just getting faster, getting a little angry with themselves, a little upset, running with abandon.
Here we go, Starks Fue rolling out to his left, going to go across the middle of the field here, has another open man, but that ball's going to be dropped. Ooh, had a man around the 10-yard line. Intended receiver, that was Jalen Dongi, who had the catch on the right sideline earlier. But that one's dropped again. Starks Fue, can't blame him there. That ball was placed perfectly, but it's going to be 4th down and 16.
It certainly was, and you can tell he's a bit frustrated down there on the sideline, and who wouldn't be right now? I mean, a beautiful pass. He's running for his life at some points out here, and
hasn't been able to stay in the pocket once this game. It's all been rollouts tonight.
Certainly has, and it works at times, but more often than not, it's been working because he is so good and so athletic. Whenever you expect your teammates to catch a pass or pick up some of the slack right there, and it doesn't happen, it can be maddening.
Well, here we go, 4th down and 16. Already one 4th down conversion on this drive. Starks Fue rolling out to his left, maybe looking towards the sideline, maybe still looking to throw. Now across the line of scrimmage, he's going to be hit, and he's going to be taken down. It's going to be a turnover on downs as Waynesville stops him just short of the line. It's going to be a gain of about 10, but he needed 16, and Waynesville once again going to find themselves a stop in their own territory. This time, though, going to be able to start around the 16-yard line, so maybe not quite as far in their own territory. Still yet to get across midfield, though.
And just one more impressive thing about Antonio Starks Fue. I know we've said several.
We've sung his praises tonight for
so
sure.
far tonight, and he definitely deserves it. This kid is a junior. He still gets to come back next year and continue to likely win several games with the Central Bulldogs.
Here we go. Waynesville back on offense now. 1st down and 10 again, starting on the 16. Moving up the field, Chase Thomas Plummer getting a couple of yards. It's going to be about maybe 2 or 3 on 1st down as we approach the final minute of this first quarter. Still no time, and again, well, we're going to swap sides after the quarter, so hopefully, Garrett, you've enjoyed the action that we have gotten on this side of the field as we are yet to cross other side. Aside from one play at the very beginning of the game, we are yet to cross midfield. 1:13 on the clock here, again, 2nd down and 8. Vernon going to take the snap, jet sweep back the other direction, hitting the backfield. Able to start moving upfield, though. Able to get a couple yards out of it. As forward momentum is eventually going to be called at around the 19-yard line. I believe that was Tyreek Brooks on the carry once again. Brooks, a good decision there, hitting the backfield, but then immediately, instead of maybe trying to go the same direction, kind of just spins back the other way and starts moving upfield, trying to get what you can get. Don't have to worry about shaking it off, just have to worry about maybe making it a manageable 3rd down.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. This game's quickly turning into a slugfest. That might be the only way to win it.
3rd down and 5. Direct snap here, Michael Kelsey Jr. getting his first carry here, still on his feet. He's going to get the 1st down and then some, all the way to about the Waynesville 29-yard line. So, needed 5, got 8. That'll be enough for the 1st down. Michael Kelsey Jr. into the ball game here today. I mentioned a lot of the sophomores not playing here tonight. Obviously, Kelsey Jr., he's going to be one of those guys on the field.
He certainly is, and that's not because he likes the coach or the coach likes him or any other reason than the fact that he is
not favoritism is a good way to mention
no.
it. It's a good way to...
Absolutely. It is not anything going on. He is just a darn good football player, and he has earned his spot here in the district playoffs tonight. He's been fantastic all year. Not seeing a whole lot of him in the preseason or anything like that. He's lit some eyes up this year.
He's earned his play for sure. So that'll be it for the first quarter. We'll swap sides. We'll go to the other side of the field now as we move into the second quarter with no score here between Waynesville and Central. We'll take ourselves a minute break, come back to it. You're listening to Tiger Football right here on Z102.3. Back here once again to Harrison Stadium. We're swapping sides now to the far side of the field here. Hopefully coming back towards us, though. As Waynesville controls the football. First down and 10. Ball on their own 29-yard line here in a scoreless game. First week of the district football season. Connor Harbin here with you today alongside Garrett Bowles. Michael Kelsey Jr. on the direct snap here on first down. Moving towards that left sideline here. Now cuts it up to around the 35 or so. Going to have to rely on our officials where they spot the ball here today. Gain of 6 on first down to the Waynesville 35-yard line. So the first quarter's coming on here, Garrett. No score. Still yet to play on the central side of the field, though. Wonders maybe some initial thoughts here. Maybe we'll wait until after this play, then I'll come back to that. Just a fair warning to maybe think about it a little bit here. Second down and 4. Pushing up field here. Quarterback keeper, David Vernon on the carry. Looking to be getting to at least the 35, maybe a couple more. They'll give him the 37. That'll make it third down and 4 here. So maybe some initial thoughts in that first quarter.
I think Central was able to dominate time of possession. I mean, they didn't get necessarily a score out of it, but they're definitely wearing down the Waynesville defense and kind of finding the little holes and things that every team has eventually. You got to find those and hopefully expose them later if you're the Central Bulldogs. They've controlled time of possession, and both teams have avoided turnovers, which obviously is something you want to see.
Third down and 2 here from the 37, excuse me. Kelsey Jr. on the carry. He gets across. He's going to have the first down. It's going to be enough. Across the 40-yard line as well, all the way to around the 43 or so. So another gain of 6 here for Kelsey Jr. So Waynesville continues to push back over towards midfield. Wouldn't it be a blessing here, Garrett, if we just got to watch the entire game here tonight? If Waynesville can maybe control this quarter and keep it in Central territory, kind of what the Bulldogs did to them, I think that would be pretty ideal. And maybe taking the lead here, maybe building something. Still trying to find their way on the board for the first time tonight.
Ideal for you and I, no doubt ideal for the Tigers and Coach Barkley as well. It's synergy, works for everybody.
It's a symbiotic relationship. Vernon with the snap, going to hand it off here. Moving towards his left, Chase Thomas Plummer. Another solid chunky yardage here as he's going to be just shy of midfield. So we're almost there. A gain of about 5 or so. Well, they'll give him the 49s. How about 6 when it's all said and done? Gain of 6, second down and 4. A couple minutes gone by here in this second quarter. 10 minutes left to go in the first half. 1 yard to go. And we'll officially have played more than one play in Central territory. Obviously very ideal for Waynesville here in this scoreless ball game. Shift to the line, ball on the left hash. Thomas Plummer, the wing back. Kelsey Jr. in the backfield. Here's a handoff to Kelsey Jr. Pushing, shoving, in across half field, across the 45 he goes. All the way to the 44, Kelsey Jr. Again, we always talk about Kelsey Jr. and Chase Thomas Plummer. We always talk about how they have different running styles, but what I really want to say, they're both very adept at pushing once they get hit. They are very, very good at getting those second chance yardage. That yards after contact, that's the official correct term, the YAC, if you will. But both of them very, very good at it.
You're absolutely right. I mean, they do get it done in slightly different ways, but once that contact is made, they turn into that penguin, Happy Feet, turns into one of those guys over there just trying to bust through tackles at every chance they get.
Ah, yes, the very classic animated movie Happy Feet. Thank you. Unlocking a core memory for me. Wing back, left-hand side. Again, first down and 10. Ball on the Central 44. Michael Kelsey Jr., right sideline, left sideline, excuse me. It's not going to matter. He's actually going to find his way into the end zone. Hear the Tiger roar. Touchdown, Waynesville. Although there is a flag on the play. Well, oh, nope. Never mind. Flag picked up. Touchdown, Waynesville. 6-0. Let's go. Excitement.
A very anticlimactic way to get the first score, but it works all the same. The scoreboard still says 6 no matter what. And let's talk about that play right there, because, I mean, Kelsey busting down the sideline, broke a tackle seemingly with ease, all very simple, straight to the house for the score. A great play by a great player. We've seen him this season. So
Waynesville taking the 6-0 lead here with 9:02 left to go in the second quarter, lining up for the 2-point conversion. I don't know where I saw the flag, to be honest with you. My apologies. Direct snap, Kelsey Jr. trying to push it to the right pylon. He's going to trot in and he's going to find himself the score. So Chase Thomas Plummer, finding his way on into the end zone, going to make it an 8-0 ball game in favor of Waynesville. Of course, that touchdown by the Waynesville Tigers means another $25 donated to the Waynesville High School Athletic Program by Ed Morse Ford of St. Robert, Waynesville. Although, hold on, not necessarily coming off the field just yet. There's actually going to be a flag on this play. So, go ahead and finish my thought here. Ed Morse Ford, they're always a big supporter of the Waynesville schools. Find out what it means to be backed by Morse. Big thank you to Ed Morse Ford, of course, sponsoring us all season long. But the penalty is going to be holding against the Tigers, so take those 2 points off the board. Now we're going to have to try to do it from just outside the 10-yard line on the 11. Well, thought there was no flag on the 2-point conversion. There was a flag. Thought there was a flag on the touchdown. There was no flag. Sometimes we just get crisscrossed like that. Garrett?
And now I do wonder, are the Waynesville Tigers going to attempt to pass right here? You got to get 11 yards, it looks like, on one play. You already have the touchdown. This might be maybe a little momentum booster here if they pass successfully.
Well, we'll see what they have here. They're going to come to the line in their standard running formation, the wingback. Tyreek Brooks sent in motion, fakes the handoff. Now they're going to go to the air, though. Looking towards the end zone here. Vernon going to step through. He's going to find himself the 5-yard line. He's hit about the 4. He's going to come up a couple of yards shy, though. And that'll mean it's just a 6-0 ball game with 9:02 left to go here in the second quarter. But nice long touchdown run for Michael Kelsey Jr. up the left sideline. Means that Waynesville will take the lead. They lead the Central Bulldogs 6-0. Back in a minute. You're listening to Tiger Football right here on Z102.3. A fumble? Oh, well, no, not a fumble. Excuse me as we get back to action here. Tripped up in the air, lost the ball when he hit the ground. But kind of a scary tackle there on the return. Central is going to take it first down and 10. Ball on the 35-yard line of the Bulldogs. Connor Harmon here with you today alongside Garrett Bowles. 6-0 our score, a 44-yard touchdown run. Michael Kelsey Jr. opening up the scoring here today, right on up the left sideline. Of course, almost got the 2-point conversion. First try called back by a penalty. A couple yards shy on the second attempt. So they do lead this one 6-0, but it is still a lead. Now it's up to them to hold it. This Waynesville defense has really bent but not broke tonight. Bend but don't break. See if they can't keep doing that here. McShane on the carry. Into the second line he goes as he gets to around the 45-yard line. Going to be a gain of about 9 or 10 here on first down. See where they spot it. They're going to give him 9, so second down and 1.
And it seems like every time a Bulldog gets tackled tonight, it's not one guy bringing him down. It's 2 or 3 or 4 every single time. Like we said before, big, fast, athletic guys. Coach Barkley not wanting his team to necessarily try to just make a booming slam tackle. He's more interested with holding them up and making sure the entire team gets there to complete the play. 2
wide receivers right, 8:20 left to go here in this first half. Man set in motion to the left. Faking the jet sweep, going to hand it off to McShane instead. McShane hit at the line. Falls forward here, not going to get anywhere though. It's going to be no gain. Maybe save the loss on the play, but he is going to be short. It's going to be third down and 1. Still a third down and short for the Bulldogs. Waynesville doing a good job of holding them there as we cross the 8-minute mark.
It's going to be a long game without running game for the Bulldogs. I do like how they're kind of giving their quarterback a little bit of a break right now. He's been running for his life for a good majority of this game. Maybe just getting it done through the ground a little bit here.
Yeah, Antonio Starks-Fue, he's done a lot of the work here. Here's another handoff to McShane, and again, a pile's going to form, but I think this time they're going to get the yard they need. It was almost certainly going to be a 4-down situation here for the Bulldogs. as we have some pushing and shoving after the fact. Gotta watch that if you're Waynesville. You really can't afford to be doing that here tonight. Gotta remember the situation you're in. They are gonna get the yard. There's gonna be no flags, so just gotta watch it. But it is gonna be enough for the first down.
Especially, I mean, some of these kids out here are seniors, and there is no more guaranteed football for them. You do not want your last ever game of organized football to be ended prematurely. You've got to keep those emotions and those types of things in check throughout the entirety of the game here.
Yeah, I like what you said. No more guaranteed football. So you don't want your last few games to be marred with penalties like that. Sax Fue going to go ahead and hand it off here. New ball carrier here for the Bulldogs. That time it's going to be, the fullback Tyrell Hurd. Pushing forward, punching forward for about 3 or 4. Looks like it's going to be about, they're going to give him 3. So how about 2nd down and 7? First carry here by Hurd.
And I do love the play card that the coach is holding up right there. You don't see that often in high school.
McShane on the carry, right side, going to shake off one tackler on the edge. Across midfield he goes. Again, a lot of effort here for just a few yards. Gotta say, Waynesville's at least been on it, getting into him in the backfield. Maybe need to tackle a little bit better in the one-on-one situations. But still swarming here, going to force another 3rd down and 5. You know what I'm trying to say here, Garrett? The first guy's getting to him, and it's great, but they need to do a little bit better of wrapping up and taking him down. Some of these 2-3 yard gains could be going for losses.
You're absolutely right, and half of that is the problem of the Tigers' defense, but the other half of that is the offense of the Bulldogs really pushing with every play. Here
we go, McShane again. This time he is going to be hit and dropped. There we go. That's what I wanted to see there. That's going to be a loss of 2, and that's going to bring up a 4th down here as they push Central back across midfield into their own territory. It's going to be 4th down and maybe 7. Nope, going to say 4th down and 8, ball on the 48-yard line. Another opportunity here on 4th down. We've seen so many 4th downs, but I think this time Central around midfield is just going to punt the football away. Certainly lining up like they're going to do so. Good defensive stop.
That does look to be the case with the punt here, but it's playoff football, and I'm not willing to rule anything out right now.
You are certainly right. 3 in the backfield, 3 blockers in the backfield. Punter takes the football, kick is away. Going to hop. Going to be fielded around the 25 or so. That's Chase Thomas Plummer on the return. He's going to take that speed. He's going to use his speed to just punch it all the way up to about the 35, 37-yard line. We'll wait and see where they're spotted. Again, kind of just eyeballing it once you get deep enough into that territory over there. But it's going to be a big return, and I think that's the most important thing. That's the thing we can tell over there. CTP fields it on the hop, just charges forward, and gets it to around, I was right, the 37-yard line. I need to be more confident, Garrett. I know what I'm looking at.
Well, what I was looking at on that play was the return, of course, but a block by a Tiger that I am trying my best to get a view on. That he has to get shouted out for that.
We'll give him credit. He knows who he is on the first play of the drive. Moving forward, Michael Kelsey Jr. Short gain here, about 2. 2nd down and 8. 5 minutes left to go here in the half. This half has really gone by quickly. Again, the Waynesville rushing offense. Of course, Central has really started to move away from that passing game a little bit here on their latest couple drives. This clock just continues to tick and tick and tick. So, well, say that.
Now it stops
and now
ticking.
It's not going to stop because we have ourselves a timeout taken here by Central. So Central going to take its 2nd timeout. We'll take a timeout too. Back in 1 minute, 4:58 on the clock. Waynesville leads 6-0. You're listening to Tiger Football, Z102.3. Back to it out of the timeout. 4:58 left to go here in this first half. Waynesville with the football. 2nd down and 6. Ball on the 41-yard line. Man set in motion. Fakes the handoff. Up the middle it goes. Across the 40, but not much more here. Might be 2, might be 3. And it's going to be 3rd down here. David Vernon takes it forward. 3rd down and about, well, they'll say 3rd down and 4. So by the way, on the block, Garrett, ever so vigilant, ever so dedicated, would not take his eyes off of Riley McCain-Kirby, who made the block on that punt return, definitely helping CTP get the Tigers to where they are now. Here we go, though, 3rd down and 4. Direct snap, moving to the right sideline. Chase Thomas Plummer able to dodge one defender, pushed out of bounds around the 44-45. It's going to be, I believe, maybe enough. It looks like he maybe got 1 more yard than he needed. No, actually, I don't know what I was looking at there, Garrett. He gets maybe about a yard. 4th down and 3. Just looking at one of the officials here who actually shuffled to the left over on the far sideline. Been using that here today to kind of mark where they're knocking the ball out of bounds earlier when they're on the far side of the field. So 4th down and 3, how about it?
Almost right at the 52, and it looks like they're going for it.
David Vernon still on the field here. It's going to be a direct snap to Chase Thomas Plummer through the left. He's going to be hit, pushing, shoving, and I think he's going to be, it's going to be close. It's going to be, they're going to say, it's going to be 1st down Waynesville. Needed 3, got himself about 4 as they continue to march just shy of midfield. It's 1st down and 10, ball on the 49-yard line. Hurrying up to the line here, direct snap to Vernon. Vernon across the 50 now to around the central 48 or so. The clock now under 4 minutes left to go in this first half.
And
2nd down and 6.
The Tiger offense, I predicted, would kind of take the crowd out of it. To the crowd's credit, they're still as loud as they were in the first quarter.
Brooks sent in motion here, but Vernon looking to go to the air, throws it deep down the field, trying to find his target, Josh Bess. And that ball falls well short. It's going to be 3rd down and 7. Going to the air once again. This time the ball actually gets into the air, but unfortunately just a bit underthrown. Trying to find what has been Vernon's favorite target all season in maybe Vernon. I mean, Brett Favre completed a pass to himself. Josh Bess is what I meant to say. But yeah, not a whole lot of chance for Bess to come back on that one.
Yeah, that one was tough and very well defended, which is tough whenever you're going up against a team who runs it as often as the Tigers do. Quick reactions there by the Bulldogs.
So here we go, 3rd down and 7. 3:33 left to go in the half. Waynesville, big shift to the right here at the line. Snap to Vernon, hands it off. CTP hit well behind the line, but shakes it off. Gets across, gets to the left sideline, now across the 30 before he's pushed out of bounds. That's going to be a gain of about 19 or so, and that's going to be enough for the 1st down. So another 3rd down situation, another sticky situation for Waynesville, but they're able to persevere. CTP hit behind the line, much like McShane for the Bulldogs. Shakes it off and just gets 19 anyway. Ball to the 30-yard line.
The tackling has left something to be desired from both sides of the ball tonight, and the offense taking advantage on both sides as well.
So here we go, back in front of us here. 1st down and 10 from the 30. Direct snap, Kelsey Jr. on the carry. Couple yards here, maybe 2, maybe 3. So Waynesville definitely playing the clock game at the moment. Now to about 3 minutes now. Trying to make this a 2-score ball game before the half. Remember, Waynesville going to get the ball in the 2nd half. Kicked it off to begin the game. Touchdown here would be a good thing to have. Gonna have a penalty here, gonna have a flag thrown, pre-snap. It's gonna be a flag here, offsides against Central. And so a 2nd down and 7, gonna turn down into a 2nd and 2.
To be a bit of a, I don't want to say confusing call, but one that the refs at least need to gather up for and make sure everybody's on the same page here.
They're going to gather up here. Thought that was the call. Thought the call was.
Might have heard unsportsmanlike on that.
That would certainly be worse. That would be better for Waynesville. Worse for Springfield Central. I was thinking about it from a Central perspective, and actually that's what it's going to be. So good eye, Garrett. Thank you. Unsportsmanlike conduct. That's why I bring you. Unsportsmanlike conduct going to bring Waynesville inside the red zone, all the way to the Central 13-yard line. I told you I was going to roast you on air today, and here I am complimenting you. what have I become this season?
A friend.
A
Connor,
friend, yes, a friend, absolutely. That is what we are. Friends who don't carpool together. 3:03 left to go in the quarter. I'm still salty. 3:03. Again, the ball going to be first down and 10 on the 13. Need to get to the 3-yard line for a first down and goal situation.
This is a huge possession right here for the Tigers. If they can score here and get the ball back at half, that's going to be very important. It's not going to win you the game, not going to seal it by any means. We've seen the Tigers blow a lead or two in this season, but bodes well for them.
Kelsey Jr. on the direct snap here, first down and 10. Push back, tackled by several Bulldogs. Try 3 of them. He is going to get across the line, but it's going to be a gain of 1 here. It'll be second down and 9 from the 12. Clock still ticking now at about 2:40. Remember, Central only 1 timeout to work with here in this first half. Waynesville really controlling things here at the moment, but trying to put points on the board themselves. Saw West Plains score just before the half last week. Waynesville a chance to maybe do the same thing themselves. Big shift at the line, coming up to the left. Ball left of center. Vernon, direct snap here, trying to follow Kelsey Jr. through the hole. Hole that doesn't really materialize. He's going to be taken down behind the line of scrimmage, around the original line of scrimmage. And that's going to make it third down and 9.
And there were 3 Central Bulldogs not involved in that tackle. Every single other Central Bulldog on the field pushing Vernon back right there. They're very quick to the ball right now. They might have seen that play coming.
So here we go, third down and 9. It's actually no gain after all things considered. Vernon again looking to go to the air, rolling out to the right. Has a man in the flat. Pass is going to be caught. That's Dylan Smith with the catch. Reaches after the fact and to get to about the 5-yard line. That's going to be a gain of 7. It's still going to be fourth down, but a much more manageable fourth down. I don't even think I have to ask you, Garrett. They're going to go for it here. Fourth down and 2 from about the 5-yard line.
I would certainly hope they're going for it. I mean, even if the kicker Mason Wright was here tonight, I
have not attempted a field goal all season long. So
they would be going for it right
easy
here.
Choice here for Coach Barkley, and I mean that's kind of Captain Obvious. But here we go. Trying to catch Central offside with the shift. Not going to happen. Brooks is the wing back. Kelsey Jr. in the backfield. Going to take the direct snap. Going to charge forward. Hear the Tiger roar. Touchdown, Waynesville. Make that Chase Thomas Plummer again, who continues to confuse me back there in the back. Again, as far away as we are, those 18s are looking like 20s. Chase Thomas Plummer breaks through for his first score of the game. Going to make this 12-0 in favor of the Tigers.
And like we said earlier, a huge momentum play right there for the Waynesville Tigers. Chase Thomas Plummer virtually untouched throughout the line there. It was great blocking. It was great explosiveness. It was a great play, earning a touchdown right there.
When you have 2 running backs with speed, power in the works, it's very easy to confuse them sometimes. But Chase Thomas Plummer, he's on the board for the first time today. Kelsey Jr. from 44. And, of course, Thomas Plummer from about 6 yards out. 2-point conversion here to try to make this a 14-point ball game. Direct snap here once again. Same play it looks like, and it's going to work out once again. Thomas Plummer across the goal line, and again going to make this a 14-point ball game. So 14-0 here. Waynesville leads Central. 55.7 seconds left on the clock. And again, want to remind you that that touchdown by the Waynesville Tigers means another $25. Donated to the Waynesville High School Athletic Program by Ed Morse Ford of St. Robert, Waynesville. As it looks like there might be another flag here on this 2-point conversion. Ed Morse Ford, always a big supporter of the Waynesville schools. Find out what it means to be backed by Morse. So, for the second time here tonight, 2-point conversions have been a bit of a struggle here for the Tigers this season. They're going to have to try to do it again from the 11-yard line. Same call, holding. Make it back to a 12-0 ball game. Still 2 scores, but extra points now would certainly help Central in case of touchdown.
Central is too good of a ball club to leave these points on the table.
Here we go, going to the air here, trying to find Best, but the ball is overthrown, and so it will remain 12-0. But still, a touchdown's a touchdown. Chase Thomas Plummer from 5 yards out means that the Tigers lead this one 12-0. We'll be back in 60 seconds. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to Tiger Football right here on Z102.3. Back to it here once again. Another short kickoff. Going to be fielded about the 20-yard line. Coming up the middle of the field here, still on his feet as he moves off to the right, trying to find himself another hole. He's going to find himself open space. Nico found the last man back. He's going to be the one to make the tackle. Nico found no regular tackle. No regular kicker, I should say. But man, Waynesville not doing the best job there of bringing the man down. Had him all the way back at about the 29-yard line or so. But the man on the return, that was Mikos Vaughn. Able to take it all the way here to the Waynesville 42-yard line. And with 40.2 seconds on the clock and a timeout to work with, Central has a chance here. Maybe put some points on the board before the half.
You're absolutely right. I mean, they're so athletic. They're so fast. Really, this entire team. That's how quickly a play can change from being positive in your favor to really not good.
Starks Fue on the pass, looking towards the left. Again, rushed out of the pocket here. Going backwards, past the 40 he goes. Now moving up the right sideline, going to jump and throw it away. Could that be intentional grounding? I think there might be a case for it there. Only really linemen in the area. Are they going to throw it, or are they just going to give him the incomplete? 10 seconds run off the clock, 29.8 left to go in the half. Official's going to talk things over here. I think there's a pretty strong case here for intentional grounding. That ball traveled about 5 yards.
I'm racking my brain to try to go through all of the rules. Unfortunately, at the beginning of the year, I thought we had 2-minute warnings in high school football. So I'm not the best at the nuances. And Connor, I think you just heard something
nuance there. It is going to be intentional grounding. So that is going to be a loss of down. And also a big loss as well. Flag coming in from the spot. So we're going to lose all those yards. Again, the Waynesville pass rush has been immaculate tonight. Really has forced Starks Fue to get things done himself. To his credit, he's almost got it done himself, but he's also lost a lot of yards here tonight. That one going to be a loss of 19. Second and 29 from the 40. 29 yards, 29 seconds on the clock. There you go. Tied it in. But here we go. Here is that second down and 29. Starks Fue, shotgun formation, one back in the backfield. That's the fullback Hurd. 2 wide receivers left, 2 wide receivers right. Our official talking things over with the Waynesville sideline, but now we're good to go.
Spread the wide receivers out here, create as much potential running lanes for the quarterback as possible.
Starks Fue to the air again, flushed out of the pocket. Throwing up the right sideline, pass is caught, but he's hit immediately from behind, staying in bounds. Catch made out there. Looks like that was on the catch. Colin Boyles on the catch. Clock continuing to run here, and it looks like Central in no hurry. They might just head into the locker rooms here with this 12-point deficit. Gonna hurry to the line, though, and now the timeout's called. So, looks like we're gonna get 1, maybe 2 more plays, depending on how quickly this one goes here before we go to the break. 3rd and 24, 7.6 on the clock.
You have a variety of different play calls if you're Coach Tim Johnson right now, and I'm not sure which one they're going to go with. I think at this point you kind of just got to maybe heave it deep or go with a quick little hitch route, something like that, create some space, and then you have to get out of bounds quickly. I don't know if Coach Johnson is going to take that risk. I think he's going to try to end the half right here, right now, whether it's an incomplete pass, a turnover, or a touchdown. You've got to get a result on this drive.
I would not be surprised if they try to use the athleticism that Central has, maybe send a few receivers deep, maybe try to challenge this secondary that honestly at times has left receivers open. Remember, there have been several drops here tonight by this Central passing unit. The receivers are open, they're just not able to complete the connection. Might try to risk it once again, might try to send a man deep. Maybe watch for some trickery here as well. Again, it's going to be 3rd down and 24. Down in distance, not really important now with 7 seconds left to go. Ball is on the Central 45-yard line. Need to go 55 yards here before the half. Shotgun formation, Starks Fue, again the quarterback. Taking the snap, looking to his left. Going to be a simple screen, pass is caught. At about the 50-yard line to the left sideline. Going to be caught by the leg here. Forward momentum's almost certainly. No, they're going to pitch it. That ball's going to be bouncing around here as it goes past the 40. Waynesville's going to fall on it here. Of course, they're not going to get the ball as it is going to be the end of the half. They'll get the ball to begin the half, but that's going to go down as a fumble recovery here for the Waynesville defense. So a good thought there for Central. Didn't quite work out in their favor. Waynesville can head into the locker rooms with a 12-point lead. They lead by 2 scores, a chance to make it more. As we're going to go ahead and throw 20 minutes up on the clock here. We'll go ahead and take ourselves a quick timeout. Garrett, we'll have you go ahead and start up on those stats for you. But we'll come back here in 4 minutes I'll have a scoring summary here for you today. Again, as Waynesville currently leads this one over the 3-seeded Central Bulldogs, 12-0. Back in 4 minutes, you're listening to Tiger Football right here on Z102.3. And once again, welcome back here to Harrison Stadium here at the Curry Sports Complex in Springfield. We are at halftime here of this one. Waynesville, the 6th seed here in Class 5, District 5, currently leading the number 3-seeded Springfield Central Bulldogs here at 12-0. Connor Harbert here with you. Garrett Bowles, of course, working on the stats. He'll join me here in just a few moments. 12-0 here. The scoring summary, fairly simple here tonight. Of course, Waynesville getting it started in that second quarter. It was a 44-yard touchdown run for Michael Kelsey Jr. up the left sideline. Again, the initial converted 2-point conversion, unfortunately called back by a penalty. They were not able to convert the ensuing 2-point conversion, so that made it at the time 6-0. After again stopping the Central Bulldogs, forcing in the punt, one last touchdown before the half, punching it in from about 6 yards out. That would be Chase Thomas Plummer, his one touchdown here today. And of course, setting up a 12-0 score after, again, Waynesville, a penalty on the ensuing 2-point conversion. Could have made it a 14-0 game, but still, 12-0, a 2-score ball game here at the half. Definitely a good start here for the Tigers. Of course, the Tigers will also get the ball back to start the second half as well. So really a potential to make this a 3-score ball game. Now, of course, no lead is safe. We have seen that here this season. You might remember Waynesville, a 3-score lead in the Bolivar game. But when you have a team explosive like the Bulldogs, you got to keep working. You got to keep taking what the defense is giving you. And so far, that's exactly what Waynesville has been able to do. Garrett, maybe some thoughts on that first half as a whole.
I think the first half as a whole has been great, especially if you're the Waynesville Tigers. I mean, able to come in here, you know your record. You know your record's 2-7. You're going up against a team who is 7-2 right now, and it is gone. I don't think Coach Barkley could have dreamed it going this well already. He's seen how athletic and how fast all of these Central Bulldogs are, and so far he's only held them, I should say, to 54 yards from scrimmage. That includes passing. That also includes a couple of sacks and things like that. But as a total, the Bulldogs only able to move the ball about 54 yards in total. That's very impressive and a great look for the defense tonight. They're definitely riding high right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, definitely. We talked about it in the pregame here today. Both these teams really with something to prove. Both these teams really kind of carrying chips on their shoulders. Waynesville trying to prove that they can keep up with some of the members of this district, really trying to prove that, yeah, we lost a couple of games, but I think we're better than our 2-7 record would indicate. And of course, Central trying to prove that they belong in that 3 seed with the 7-2 record. Have their doubters, of course, point to the easy strength of schedule. Of course, no offense to those Class 1, Class 2, Class 3 teams, but a lot of people pointing to that. A lot of people saying that this game, despite Waynesville being the lower seed, we're almost the favored team here in this one. And so far, Waynesville has really carried that mantle, and so far have really kind of shown that they deserve, I think, to move on to that second round. But of course, Garrett, we still have 20 more minutes of football here, and of course, we took a look at the last few weeks. Waynesville's got to come out strong in this second half. They've got to keep playing the football that they're playing right now, maybe with a few changes, maybe with a few improvements in that initial tackling game.
I think you're absolutely right, and I don't think it's if, I think it's when the Central Bulldogs have that one potentially momentum-shifting play. They're too athletic, they're too impressive tonight to go scoreless. They're too impressive to only have 100-ish yards of offense on the entire night, on the entire game, I should say. They're gonna have those plays where the Tigers feel like they got a beat on them. They're gonna have a couple of those plays where the Tigers feel like they're a step behind and they maybe lost it a little bit on that play. In the past, the Tigers have let that kind of influence the rest of the game. They've let it get into their heads. They've let it start to worry them. We see the game start to snowball from there. Tigers cannot have that happen to them tonight. Waynesville has got to be focused. They've got to be hitting their holes perfectly. They've got to be just as quick, just as agile, and just as focused on the game at hand throughout the entire next 20 minutes.
Yeah, and absolutely completing those tackles, because that is what we've seen from the Bulldogs here today. I think they're really just a broken tackle or two away from scoring here tonight. You have some definitely dangerous players there out on the field. Starks Feway, for all the yards that he's really kind of lost here tonight, trying to scramble in and around the pocket, he's been able to really show off that athleticism just by being able to stay alive in the backfield for as long as he has. Maybe not too far from being able to get forward. We saw a couple of positive gains from those scrambles early on in the game. Of course, Mikost Vaughn, big returns as well, where he was able to shake off that initial hit, maybe even that second hit as well. He's a dangerous player that we've got to watch out for in that second half. Jalen Ndongi, he had a catch there as well. So you've got to make sure that you wrap up on that first contact. Maybe you don't bring him down by yourself, but you make sure that you buy enough time for Waynesville to swarm to the football and take these playmakers down. You can't afford to let them run free for very long. So we've got some stats. We're going to go and take another break, though. So hold that thought, Garrett. I know you're excited to share your work with the rest of the class, but we're going to go and take another 4-minute timeout. We'll come back in just a moment. 12-0 our score. Waynesville leads Central. You're listening to Tiger Football right here on Z102.3. Once again, back here at Harrison Stadium at the Curry Sports Complex. We are still at halftime, about maybe 9 minutes left to go before we get back to action here. Waynesville out in front of Central, 12-0 here in this one. The Tigers a couple of second quarter touchdowns really setting the pace here at the moment. So again, Connor Harbin here with you today alongside Garrett Bowles. We've got some stats for you. And of course, Garrett, he has those stats, and he's going to bring it to us now. So Garrett, what do you have for us there from that first half?
Thank you very much, Connor. Yeah, Tigers up right now on the Bulldogs 12-0. That means 2 touchdowns have been scored, and I believe if you were to tell me at half, or tell me at the beginning of the game that 2 touchdowns would have been scored, I would have told you they probably would have been scored by Chase Thomas Plummer and Michael Kelsey Jr., and that's exactly what's happened so far today. Michael Kelsey Jr. getting in on an earlier one, Chase Thomas Plummer finding his way into the end zone a little bit later in that same second quarter. Kelsey is the leading rusher on the night tonight for the Tigers. A couple of big runs there, especially that 44-yarder really set him apart from the rest of the rushers on the team. He has 77 so far on the game tonight. Chase Thomas Plummer, not as explosive of a few runs throughout the course of the game. He has been efficient nonetheless, though, 53 yards for him. Also, David Vernon, one of the main quarterbacks, I should say, on the team. 12 yards for him tonight, 6 yards through the air for the Tigers, which leads to a total of 149 total yards tonight. So as soon as they get 1 yard here in the second half, they'll be at 150 yards on the night tonight. Central Bulldogs, of course, no touchdowns scored yet. Most of their game, most of their offense being ran on their side of the field. Definitely not where you want to be. I flipped that. Most of it has been on the correct side of the field for them, on the Tigers
side of the field, yes.
That's what I was attempting to say. However, unfortunately, with the good field position they've been granted throughout the course of this game, only 54 yards of total offense tonight. Of course, the quarterback for the Bulldogs, drawing a blank on his name, it's Antonio Starks-Feway. He has been fantastic tonight. He has no doubt ran for more than 54 yards tonight. However, we're counting scrimmage yards here, not yards back and forth, sideline to sideline.
Those goes in case people were wondering, that goes into team passing yards. So losing a lot of yards that way. They used to go into the rushing yards, but they stopped doing that because, you know, quarterbacks, when you get sacked like that, you don't really deserve to lose those rushing yards. So that's kind of a weird thing, but yeah, certainly has been able, when he crosses the line of scrimmage, has been able to generate a lot of yardage, unfortunately, as we saw just before the half, and as we saw maybe on that first drive where they came within a goal line situation. When you start running backwards, sometimes you bite you off a bit more than you can chew, and that can certainly be a drive killer in and of itself. So, thanks for the stats, Garrett. Always appreciate it. Unless you have more. I don't know if I cut you off there.
I don't think I do have any more. No, I think I'm good to go.
All right,
You're
awesome. Thank you so much,
Take
Garrett,
it away,
for the stats.
Connor.
So we're going to go ahead and send it on to another break now. I want to make sure that your hard work didn't go unnoticed. We're going to make this a 2-minute timeout. When we come back, we're going to go ahead and bring you some district scores. Of course, several different classes, several different districts in action here tonight across the Ozarks. We're going to go ahead and tell you about the scores that matter most here to us. So we're going to go ahead and take 2 minutes. Back in a moment. 12-0 your score. Waynesville leads over Central. You're listening to Tiger Football right here on Z102.3. back here once again at Harrison Stadium in the Curry Sports Complex as well. Again at halftime, but only just a few minutes away from getting back going here in this one. Connor Harvin here with you, Garrett Bowles as well. Again, Waynesville leading this one 12-0. A couple touchdowns on the ground here tonight. One for Michael Kelsey Jr. and one for Chase Thomas Plummer. Hey, let's go ahead and take a look at some area scores from around the Ozarks. We'll go ahead and start with some of the scores from the Ozarks Conference. Of course, playing across several different classes here tonight. Kickapoo taking on the Lee Summit West here tonight. We are tied 7-7 here at the half. Again, Kickapoo coming out, beating Waynesville at Kickapoo earlier on in the season. They are currently tied. Class 5, District 5, of course, where we are right now. Of course, 12-0 here tonight. Lebanon, of course, a potential opponent for Waynesville if the Tigers hold on here tonight. They lead Branson at the half 20-0 there in that one. And then Rolla, here's an interesting one. Rolla currently leading Glendale 14-0. Remember, Glendale coming on heaps of momentum after taking on Camdenton and giving the Lakers their first loss of the season, but now trailing at the half and have not found the end zone here tonight. So we'll keep watching that one for you. How about Bolivar taking on Hillcrest in Class 4 District 6? Bolivar, the Liberators, leading the Hornets 21-0 at the half there. And I do believe that is in as far as Ozark teams go. At least Parkview, nope, I forgot about Parkview. Parkview is trailing Republic over in Class 5 District 6. They are trailing 37-0 there in the second quarter. Republic very, very good this season. And Parkview getting a win this season over Hillcrest. I don't think we ever mentioned that. I know we went off the air before that game was played to completion, but Parkview did end up winning last week against Hillcrest. So Parkview, unfortunately, looks like their season is going to come to a close. Other area scores that might be of importance here today. How about Joplin? They are trailing Ray-Pec 28-21 at the half. How about Willard leading Neosho 35-15? Of course, that game, as you and I joked, very likely could end up being 70-65 before the end of the fourth. It always seems to happen that way with Neosho.
Oh, yeah.
McDonald County and Marshfield are tied at the half 0-0, a defensive battle there. And then, of course, Nevada, no score at the moment. Nevada playing at home, though, taking on Harrisonville. Of course, always going to mention my alma mater, because you get to mention your alma mater every week. But I never get to mention mine, except for all the weeks that I have mentioned mine, which has basically been every week since week 1.
It
so,
certainly has. You're acting like you're sneaking it in for once.
I'm going to ham-fist it in there until they either win the state title or they lose. One of the two. But, of course, Nevada, we'll see how they do here tonight. I know they were playing here tonight, so just no score. Reported from Nevada. So we've got ourselves about a minute left to go here before we get going. Remember, Waynesville set to receive here to begin the second half. And, of course, holding on to this 2-score lead. Garrett, a 3-score lead, kind of obvious to say, would be very, very ideal as we start to move on, especially maybe a third scoring drive that takes up a lot of time right from the get-go off the clock. I think that's the best case scenario, wouldn't you say?
It's got to be, and I think if you're Coach Kyle Barkley right now of the Waynesville Tigers, of course, he's kind of scripting that drive out right now, and I bet I can tell you how it's going to go. It's going to go 4 or 5 yards, 2 or 3 yards, 7, 8 yards, back to 4 or 5 yards. He's going to be a conductor, just slowly bringing his guys through a song and dance routine right now. It's going to be, if successful, that's what Barkley is going to go for. He's not going to go for the touchdown play right away. He's not going to try to put points up on the board in the 50s and the 60s and the 70s. A win's a win no matter what, and so if you can grind one out here, get to likely Lebanon next week. Not going to count the Pirates out quite yet, though, of course. It's good for the team morale. If you can just go ahead and kind of settle down the hype and the excitement that the Central Bulldogs no doubt have now, kind of planning and scheming around in halftime for the second half here.
Yeah, you've come out and you've proven that you belong here with the 3 seed in Class 5, District 5, but now it's time to finish things up. Get that touchdown, have a strong second half, and finish the job. Cannot stress that enough. Finish the job. That's really, maybe underline it 2 or 3 times, because that is the most important thing here tonight if you're the Tigers. But, of course, the Tigers are back to receive. 2 men back to receive here for the Tigers. First kickoff return of the day. Looks like it's going to be Johnny Hedrick and Chase Thomas Plummer back to receive. And, of course, on to kick for Central. That is going to be Boston Hawkins, another punter-kicker here on the Bulldogs roster.
That's a cool name.
Boston Hawkins. Throw 12 minutes up on the clock. Kick is away. And we're starting up with the third quarter, 12-0 in favor of Waynesville. Chase Thomas Plummer on the return here, going to try to take it up the middle of the field here. He's got some room. He's going to be taken down just past the 30-yard line, about midway between the 30 and 35. Put it on the 33, and that's where the Tigers will take over, first down and 10.
Saw a little hole there for CTP to maybe go through, not able to get the speed and the agility to make it through that hole, but still a very good run. We've seen great special teams play, especially on the receiving
return
end
side, we
tonight.
should say, yes.
It's been very impressive. That's not something that I think a lot of high school coaches necessarily highlight as well, but both teams really shining through right here tonight on that end of the side of the ball, I should say.
David Vernon, Michael Kelsey Jr. in the backfield here. Vernon going to take it, first down and 10. Across the 35 he goes. Powell's going to form. Eventually hits the ground, but not before he's able to get a few here on first down. Again, we're not really going to see Waynesville do much different, I would say, here as we start up the second half. Going to keep that ball on the ground. We saw him go to the air a few times. Didn't have a whole lot of success. Of course, the catch, the lone completion tonight for Waynesville, setting up the second touchdown of the day. But I really don't think they have much of a reason to abandon that run game just yet, especially when it makes up 80-90% of your offense. Second down and 7, ball on the 37. Direct snap here, Kelsey Jr. stood up and taken down across the 40. It's going to be short of the first down. Going to be a third down, but a third down and relatively short. Third down and 3. How about a gain of 4 on second down?
Not too bad, and I like what you said about not going to the pass yet, but as we've seen, some of these defenses that the Tigers face get to key in on that run a little bit too much. I wouldn't be surprised if there was a pass or two thrown in throughout the next 2 quarters just to keep the D honest.
Big shift on the line here, moving off to the right. 10:40 left to go in this third quarter. Direct snap here, Kelsey Jr. moving to the left, trying to follow Vernon through the hole. Past the 45, has the first down. Few yards extra. How about maybe to around the, we'll give him the 46. So a gain of 5, needed 3, first down and 10. From that original first down to now this brand new first down picked up by Michael Kelsey, that's going to sum up the rest of the game more than likely for the offensive side of the Tigers. Those methodical runs going to go in there, drain the clock, get them out of here with a win. So here we go, new set of downs again, ball on the 46. Vernon going to hand it off, going back the other way is Chase Thomas Plummer, but he's going to find himself some trouble, able to spin off one tackler in the backfield. Trying to fight to get back to the line of scrimmage. We'll see where they spot it. Might be a short loss on the play. And it's going to be second down. Yeah, they're going to give it a loss of 1. Second down and 11.
And I think I got a bit dizzy watching CTP on that. Spun around 2 or 3 times trying to break tackles, and he was successful. Unfortunately, Bulldogs swarming right there to number 18, bringing him down to the ground.
And number 18, that would be Jordan Pittman on the tackle. Penalty, by the way. Excuse me. Yeah, penalty on the play. Again, these flags have been very sneaky here tonight, but a 5-yard face mask going to be called here against the Bulldogs. So, no, that's going to make it a little bit more manageable here on second down. How about second down and 6 after everything's all said and done? Kind of flashed back a few plays there. Was almost going to say they got the first down, but no. And that was a couple plays ago. How about, again, second down and about 6 to go. Here's another handoff. CTP trying to take it towards the left sideline. He's got some room. He's got the space. He's got some blockers. He's past the 30 to around the 25, maybe pushed up at around the 27. But that's certainly enough for the first down once again. And it's going to be a gain of about, they'll say he stepped out of bounds at the 28. So a gain of 21 here for CTP.
And that's really what he can do. I mean, a lot of times we see them run inside, over and over again, wear down those blockers, wear down the defense, and then the next thing you know, set hike, and he's all the way on the other side of the field, busting it down the sideline. That's the type of football Barkley likes to play. Wear the defense down and then take advantage on the outside runs.
You can get that edge, you can get it all. Here we go, once again, CTP trying to head downfield this time. Going to be stopped at around the 28. Maybe only a gain of 1 there. Sometimes you break free, sometimes the defense wins that battle. It'll be second down and 9 here. This opening drive of the second half, now about 3 minutes old. Just over 9 minutes left to go here in the third quarter.
Something else we've seen from the Tigers, unless it's a 2-point conversion play, not a whole lot of penalties so far tonight. That's bit them the last couple of weeks, but right now a very disciplined ball club.
This time going to be Michael Kelsey Jr. on the carry as he jukes past the 25, still on his feet, now taken down around the 23. No, maybe the 22. Even when it's right in front of me, Garrett, I'm still about 1 yard off each and every time. And that's going to make it a gain of 7. That's going to make it 3rd down and 2. 3rd down and 3. And now math is starting to fail me here. 3rd down and 3, need to get to the 19-yard line. Of course, 4-down territory, so close to the Bulldogs' end zone. Just outside the red zone.
Great block on that play by Caleb Salinas, pushing his defender way back there, opening up the hole.
Direct snap, Vernon going to keep it himself here as he tries to push across the 20. It looks like he's got himself that 1st down. He's going to be taken down right around the 19. And that's going to be, if not just a 1st down outright, it's at least going to be a measurement. But judging where our official is, it looks like that's going to clearly be enough for the 1st down. Oh. Yep, I was going to say, I don't think there's any need for measurement there. When you have the whole body of the official over on the far sideline at about the 18, I think that's definitely going to tell you it's far enough. And so, a good run there from Vernon. Nice, strong running. Of course, the quarterbacks, just as hard runners as CTP, as Kelsey Jr. sometime, especially Vernon. Got to give him credit for that. They will run through the gaps just as hard.
They certainly will. Maybe not the same level of athleticism, but the surprise factor makes up for it.
Here we go. Vernon going to hand it off now to CTP. Jukes to his right. Going to have himself a 10-yard line. He's trying to spin away. Pushed out of bounds, though. He's going to be within that 10-yard line, though. It's going to be, well, if it's not 1st down and goal, it's going to be 2nd down and very, very short. Yep, it is going to be 2nd down and very, very short. They're going to spot it just in front of the 10-yard line. Waynesville knocking on the door here, trying to make this 18-0 here midway through the 3rd.
And you can kind of see the Bulldogs maybe getting a little bit more frustrated than they were in the 1st half. There's a little bit of a more throw in the tackles. There's a little bit of a body language difference. It's nothing that's wrong or bad, but a little frustration. That could be a good thing for the Bulldogs. It could be a bad thing. Just speculation right there.
Direct snap here. Kelsey Jr. trying to find the left sideline here. Cuts it upfield. He's got himself the 5. Falls forward to about the 4-yard line. And now they'll be 1st down and goal. Needed 1. Got about 6. Nope. Going to give him 5. 1st down and 5. 1st down and goal from the 5, I should say.
The scrimmage yards gained from the 1st half look very similar. 3 yards, 5 yards, 5 yards. Of course, you have the big CTP 21-yard run and then another one for 9. 7 yards, a little 1-yard gain as well. 9 yards, 5 yards there for Kelsey. And now we're at the 4-yard line.
So here we go. 1st down and goal. Waynesville trying to punch in another one. Snap to Vernon. Handoff. CTP on the carry, but nowhere to go. It's going to be a short gain, if anything. They'll give him a yard. 2nd down and goal from the 4. That keeps the clock moving. Again, not really too late. Not really the time I think you really want to start playing that clock game for serious, for real. But it is something to keep paying attention to.
Yeah, well, and it's certainly a bonus. I mean, like we've said, Bulldogs very athletic. They could turn this game on its head with just a couple of plays. If you have less time to do that, it's going to benefit the Tigers.
2nd down and goal again here from the 4. Direct snap. Kelsey Jr. pushing forward. He's going to be awfully close to that goal line, but I think he tripped and fell right before it. Tripped up there by a Bulldog, and it's going to be a gain of 4. So how about 3rd down and goal from the 1 now? Need 1 yard to punch this in and make it a 3-score ball game. Of course, don't want to maybe jinx it too harshly, but you might remember early in the season, this was a spot where it was a little bit of trouble for Waynesville. A couple of 4th down and goal stops. Of course, still have 2 plays to do it. Don't know why I'm invoking some bad memories here, but Waynesville maybe trying to show that they can push forward and get that yard.
Setting up some storylines. I like it.
Storylines. It's oh so important when you do what I do. Snap to Vernon. Handoff. Nowhere to go. Taken back to the 3. There's a handoff to CTP, but Central sending the house on that play. Just nowhere to go that time for him, and that's going to make it 4th down and goal from the 2. So hold on. I don't know why I invoked those memories now, Garrett.
Well, originally it was a handoff to Michael Kelsey Jr., a fake to him, I should say, and then it was a turnaround jet sweep to Michael Kelsey, not Michael Kelsey, to Chase Thomas Plummer. Fortunately, the Bulldogs, using those Bulldog snouts to sniff it out, caused trouble in the backfield.
Here we go, direct snap to Vernon. Vernon trying to carry it in. Hear that Tiger roar. Touchdown, Waynesville. David Vernon becomes the third Tiger tonight to find the end zone, but hold on. There's a flag on the play, holding called against Waynesville. So for the third time tonight, this time worth a little bit more than the others, Waynesville's found the end zone only to get it called back. And again, it is going to be 4th down. And that's now 10 points off the board here tonight for Waynesville. Those 10 points, that's almost double your score.
Yeah, there comes a point when Coach Barkley can just say, we held, darn it, shoot, I wish we wouldn't have done that. When it's 3 times in a row at the goal line, whether it's a touchdown or a 2-point conversion, that has got to be infuriating for Barkley right now. Doesn't matter that you're winning. It doesn't matter that this game kind of winding down now, 5 minutes left in the third quarter. That doesn't matter to Barkley whatsoever. He wants this team to play hard and get ready maybe for another game same time next week. So these penalties are inexcusable right now for the Tigers.
3 penalties all have come on scoring plays. Vernon looking to go to the air, going to toss one up here, trying to find the 6'3" Brooks, but he's going to fall incomplete, and that's going to end up being a turnover on downs. So Waynesville cost themselves again, and the Bulldogs will take over 1st down and 10 on their own 12-yard line.
And Brooks was jumping as high as he could. I think he just mistimed the jump a little bit right there, maybe a little bit too early, trying to score the touchdown, get into the end zone a little bit too soon, and that ball going to sail just barely over the hands of the 6'3" Tyreek Brooks, who's been very impressive tonight.
Brooks, one of the tallest players on this Waynesville offense, one of the tallest skill players. I should go ahead and add that caveat. Just unable to bring that one in. Starks Feway trying to find that slant round across the middle, tipped by Aussie. And that'll fall incomplete, 2nd down and 10. So again, Central, so far tonight, have not been able to find the end zone, but so far really haven't shuck away from the game plan. Still going to the air quite a bit here. And again, don't really blame them. The receivers have been open here tonight. They just haven't been able to complete the connection just yet. That time trying to go for a simple slant route across the middle. Aussie just there in the right spot that time. Definitely a great play. Here's a handoff. McShane moving to his left. Shaken down about the 15-yard line. Going to be a gain of about 3. And that'll set up 3rd down.
A little bit slow to get up right there.
Kind of fell awkwardly on that left leg.
He looks
to be okay. He looks to be okay, though. He's going to certainly line up like he's okay to continue on. Definitely don't want to show injury. If you have to stop play, you have to come off the field. Obviously, most of these players not wanting to take a play off in what has been a competitive district football game. Here we go. Starks Feway moving to his right, trying to find a man deep down the field. Now going to go for that sideline. He's got the ball incomplete. And another pass that really maybe should have been complete. Good hit after the fact. But man, Waynesville just continues to maybe catch a few breaks here and there. I mean, honestly, you got to give credit to the hit after the ball fell into the hands. That's exactly when you want to hit the receiver. But it's just really a problem of making sure that ball doesn't find the receiver's hands to begin with.
You're absolutely right, Connor. I would not have been surprised if that ball came down with the Bulldog receiver. I'm guessing
they're walking a dangerous line, but again, you got to give credit for the hit after that ball hit the hands. That knocked it loose. So here we go. Bulldogs going to punt it away. High punt, very short punt. And that ball's going to go out of bounds at about the 32-yard line. It's going to be a net 14-yard punt. And so Waynesville going to keep that ball deep into Bulldog territory. That ball almost blocked there, Garrett. About 4. That ball might have been blocked. Might have caught it maybe on the tip of the finger. That ball, sky punt is the way we, what do you call that? Sky punt? Touch them all?
I think a punt
moonshot?
A punt that went high, I'm
yeah,
pretty sure is what the technical term for
high
that.
and short. And actually, they're going to say it went out of bounds at the 27-yard line. So how about a 12-yard net punt when it's all said and done there.
But truth be told, if that punt would have been more of a low line drive, it would have been blocked and it likely would have been returned for a touchdown. Punter not really having a whole lot of options right there.
So here we go, 1st down and 10, handoff to CTP, hit and drop behind the line. Going to be a loss of 1 here on 1st down. So again, a bit of a setback there for Waynesville on their last offensive drive. Got to 3rd down and goal from the 1. Then I had to open my big fat mouth. Things didn't necessarily go well for Waynesville after that. But now a chance to really maybe rectify that mistake. Have it 2nd down and 10. Ball just outside the red zone on the central 27. And again, that clock continues to tick down. We're almost all the way through that 3rd, just under 4 minutes on the clock. Something to keep note of. As Waynesville shifts here at the line, moving to the left. Ty Brooks in at wing back. Chase Thomas Plummer in the backfield. Direct snap here to Vernon. Vernon going to keep it. Moves forward here. Able to cross the original line of scrimmage. Going to get to about the 25. It'll be 3rd down and 8.
I think if you're Coach Barkley, you're not happy with the way the offense is moving right now, but you are just sort of content with it. As long as they're, A, not turning the ball over, B, not giving up on 4th down, creating turnovers off 4th down, not doing anything like that. You just love to see the clock roll here, get into a better and better position as time goes on.
So here we go, 3rd down and 8. Handoff, jet sweep. Tyreek Brooks going to cut it upfield. Now back to his right, still on his feet as he crosses the 20. He's going to have the 1st down as he jukes and jives all the way to about the 16-yard line. Needed 7, got 8. That's exactly what he needed. And there is going to be a hurt Bulldog after the play, although he's going to hop back up and walk towards the sideline. Again, that's a player who's not on my roster. But he is going to get off the field, and so play will continue on here. It'll be 1st down and 10 after a nice run by Tyreek Brooks. Had a little bit of trouble early on there. Several Bulldogs he had to juke and jive around, had to evade. But, as we've seen several times from several different Tiger running backs, 1 or 2 guys isn't a big deal. Brooks knows when to cut it up, and he knows when to, well, he knows when to turn on that 2nd gear.
You're absolutely right. Tyreek Brooks, a guy who didn't have a solid position, I feel like, at the beginning of the season, but has sort of molded and forced his way into the offense as much as Barkley will allow.
New set of downs, 1st down and 10. Direct snap here to CTP. Positive push here for Waynesville, although CTP going to be pushed back. Forward momentum's going to give them the 12-yard line here, so a gain of 5. It'll be 2nd down. No, they're going to give them the 13. How about? So, 2nd down and 6, excuse me. Just over 2 minutes now left to go in this 3rd quarter. Still 12-0 our score. Still Waynesville out in front. Again, Waynesville maybe stat of the night, and again, hasn't really mattered too much. 10 points taken away by penalties. 3 penalties tonight, all of which have come on would-be scoring plays.
And that's the one thing that Coach Barkley might lose his voice yelling about on Monday.
Handoff here, Tyreek Brooks to the left sideline across the 10, going to be pushed out of bounds. Around the 6-7-yard line, maybe enough for the 1st down. We'll see where they spot it. Although Brooks is now down over on the sideline. Looks like he might be a bit shaken up. He's still down there. He's down out of bounds.
And that was a big hit delivered by one of the Central Bulldogs right there. Couldn't quite get a player number on that one. Ref over there signaling it is a 1st down for the Tigers.
It was going to be a gain of 7, so Brooks does get the 1st down. And I do believe, even though Brooks is out of bounds, they're still going to call the teams off to the sidelines here. So we're going to have a brief pause in the action here again as Brooks, like you said, Garrett, did take a hard hit as he was trying to fight for those extra yards here. I mean, Waynesville, we've praised the toughness so much, and sometimes that means taking tough hits like that, as Brooks is going to be up and standing now. Sometimes that means taking tough hits, and you know, football is a physical game. You get hurt, and you hate to see it every single time. You really do.
You certainly do. However, I'm sure if you were to ask Brooks if it was worth it, he would say absolutely. Getting the 1st down for his team in a big district playoff game, he'll take that every single Friday night.
Yeah, so let's hope that Brooks is okay. Again, he is up and walking around over on the sideline. That is a good sign. But back to the game at hand. 1st down and goal now from the 6. Going to try it again. 98 seconds on the clock, a minute 38 here in this 12-0 ball game. Direct snap to Vernon, hands it off. The wingback, CTP, to about the 5-yard line he goes. Helmet pops off at the end of the play. Not sure whose helmet. We'll find out here momentarily. Will have to come off the field, whoever that may be. Looks like to be a Central player. Looks like to be the injured Central player earlier. So good to see he's okay. Again, don't have a name for you as he's not on our roster, but he will need to come off the field here for a play. Gain of 2 when it's all said and done. Second down and goal from the 4.
And that kind of exemplifies the Waynesville Tigers run game. It is that chaotic. Guys losing players. We saw somebody flying through the air a second ago. I'm fairly certain I saw a Tiger do a front flip and almost landed a couple of plays ago. Tigers getting very athletic and very hard-nosed with the run game here.
Second down and goal. Direct snap to Kelsey Jr. Has some blockers in front of him. It's going to be close to the goal line. Although a pile is going to form, I think he's going to be just a yard shy. And they're going to give it to him once again. So, Garrett, you feeling any deja vu? It's going to be third down and goal from the 1.
Well, hopefully I'm not feeling deja vu after the next 2 plays. I'll tell you that much for sure. I think Barkley may just want to kneel it twice in a row just to say you didn't get any penalties on this goal line stand.
I respect the joke. I'm going to tell you no. We need the points.
No, you're absolutely right. I wonder if Barkley's going to try to switch up things right here with a different type of a play call, or if he's just going to try to stick with what he knows at least worked in practice.
Vernon and Kelsey Jr. in the backfield. It's going to be a handoff, though, to the wingback. CTP pushing forward. Does he have the push? Yes, he does. Hear the Tiger roar. Touchdown, Waynesville. No flags this time round, so put those 6 on the board. 29.7 seconds left to go in the quarter. Waynesville leads this one 18-0.
The exact same play that didn't work on the drive before. It was the fake to Kelsey, the handoff to CTP. It didn't get a lot of yards, but it got as many as you need to get 6 points on the board for that drive. Got to be impressed, got to be happy if you're Coach Barkley right now.
Of course, that touchdown by the Waynesville Tigers means another $25 donated to the Waynesville High School Athletic Program by Ed Morse Ford of St. Robert, Waynesville. 2-point conversion, direct snap to Kelsey Jr. Diving forward, and it's going to be close again. Is he in? No signal. And they're going to say he was short. So again, 2-point conversions have been the crux of Waynesville all season long, and that one going to fall short as well. But of course, Ed Morse Ford, they are always a big supporter of the Waynesville schools. Find out what it means to be backed by Morse. But it is still a 3-score lead here for Waynesville with just 30 seconds left to go before the 4th quarter. 18-0. Waynesville leading Central here tonight. Back in 1 minute, you're listening to Waynesville Tiger football right here on Z102.3. Back to it here as the opening kickoff is going to be returned here by Central to about the 20-yard line. Waynesville doing a good job there of swarming to the football and then making the tackle. One of the things, Garrett, you and I talked about at the half. Did a good job there. Only letting about an 8-yard return. They're going to put it at the 22, so how about 10 yards on the return? But still, very solidly done by the Waynesville kickoff team.
At long last for them as well. A lot of these returns, both on punting or kickoffs, have been back to the 30 or 40 even at times. Got to feel good right there to stop the Bulldogs right there and what they've been doing best.
3 wide receivers right, going to go for the screen pass here. Pass is caught. Now trying to come back through the other way to the left-hand side, but again, Waynesville going to swarm to that football. Forward momentum called here after maybe a short gain, if anything. It's going to be maybe a half yard, and that's how we're going to end the third quarter of play. So 12 minutes left to go here in this one. And Waynesville, they hold on to an 18-point lead. 18-0 our score. We'll swap sides. We'll come right back in 1 minute. See if Waynesville can hold on and move on to the second round of district football. You're listening to Tiger Football right here on Z102.3.
As I mentioned earlier, tomorrow.
Back here in the fourth quarter now as Waynesville currently leads Central 18-0. Central, though, with the football as they're going to try to send Starks Feway out to the right-hand side, a designed quarterback keeper, but nowhere to go. He's tackled very, very quickly. As Dalen Regis steps up and makes the tackle on the opposite side of the field. Again, Waynesville, 11 minutes away, need to hold on. They want to move on to that second round district matchup. We'll take on the winner of Lebanon in Branson. That's what's on the line here tonight. Waynesville looking for victory number 3 this season. Third down and 12, loss of 2 on the previous play. Starks Feway going to take the snap, looking to go to the air. Quick slant route across the middle. That one's going to be caught. I think it's going to be short of the first down. It's going to be a few yards shy.
Short of the first down. That'll bring up fourth down for the Dogs.
It's going to be fourth down and about. I think that looks to be fourth down and about 5 to go. Maybe a long 4. So a gain of 8 on the previous play.
And it looks to me like Bulldog quarterback right there kind of calming down just a little bit.
Well, I say that, but Starks Feway coming off the field here, doing a little bit of John here, maybe not really too happy with how that one worked out, as they're going to go ahead and punt it away. Here, fourth down and 4 from the 28, maybe figuring that 10 minutes on the clock here, maybe enough time. Punts away, Johnny Hedrick on the return, going to step up on it, now going to wisely maybe lay off of that one. The Bulldogs coming fast, as Springfield Central going to pick it up here. Much better punt than their last one, here at about the Waynesville 36-yard line. But Starks Feway coming off the sideline there, not too happy with how things are going. Maybe even, I think he was looking like he was looking over at the Waynesville return unit there. So maybe starting to get into Starks Feway's head a little bit. It's been a hard time for Starks Feway today. He's had to roll out a lot. He's been under a lot of pressure. Maybe starting to crack here, but the punt means that Waynesville will take the football back. And of course, with 10 minutes on the clock, we're going to see what Waynesville does best, run some time off that clock. Or always looking for that explosive play. Sometimes with Waynesville, it seems it's all or nothing. It's all or very small increments, I guess I should say. Sometimes it's 3-4, sometimes it's 69 yards to the house.
You're absolutely right, and I believe earlier in the game you said the longest drive Waynesville's had is a 10-minute drive, so this could be the
Here we
beginning
go,
of the
this
end.
could be that explosive play. Chase Thomas Plummer, he's across midfield, steps out of bounds now at about the 45-yard line. So sometimes, well, we talk about how Waynesville can take a lot of time off the clock, but with a guy like Chase Thomas Plummer, he can rip off 19 yards. That time it was 18 yards that time. He can do that just in a blink of an eye. That play taking about maybe 3-4 seconds, but he's already 18 yards downfield.
Yeah, it was a beautiful play. I mean, that's what CTP does, you know. It just seems like 4 to 5 plays a game. He has these big almost 20 to 20-plus yard gains. Very impressive. You can almost bank on it every single time he's on the field, getting 1 or 2 of those big gains.
Kelsey Jr. on the direct snap this time. Juking to his right, gets to around the 40. Going to be a gain of about 5 maybe. Looks like they might spot it on the, nope, they're going to give him the 40, so a gain of 6. Second down and 4 here. Now under 10 minutes left to go here in this contest. Just a reminder, both teams still have all 3 of their timeouts. No timeouts taken in that third quarter. And, of course, we know those timeouts could be important here for both sides. But Waynesville trying to make it a 4-score game here. Moving the ball really effectively at the moment.
They really are, and that's what something the Tigers haven't been great at is closing out games. So if they can continue with aggression on this drive, it'll bode well for them.
Vernon going to keep it himself this time, moving to his right, able to get around the end. See, torpedoes forward for another couple yards. Third down and 3. Definitely had to juke around the end there. Central, they've got some size. And of course, bearing down on him there, that was Trevor Wilson. But able to sneak on through and at least get something out of the play. It'll be third down and 4 here. Ball on the 39.
And that's one of my favorite things about Vernon right there is that he doesn't necessarily have the power to drive through a tackle, but he'll always find a way to just at the last second extend the ball, extend his legs, and get an extra yard or two. Exactly what he did right there to make sure he got positive yardage on the play.
So again, it's third down here. Vernon on the carry. He's going to be stopped well short. It's going to be a no gain, maybe a few inches. Yeah, they'll give him a few inches. It'll be fourth down, though, and 4. And so on the 39-yard line, you got to think, maybe you go for it here. You're up 3 scores, 4 yards. You're in Central territory. I wouldn't be shocked. That's what I'll say here, because, of course, we've been able to tell who, based on who the quarterback is. I'll tell you, it's Vernon. So it looks like I may be right.
Does look like they might be going for it here. I'm a little nervous about this one, Connor. I'm not going to lie to you.
Trying to get him to jump here, but now they're going to snap here to Michael Kelsey Jr. Kelsey bouncing off to the left. Going to be roped down near that first down marker. It's oh so close. We'll see where the officials mark it. Needed to get to the 36. And I think he got it. I think he got what he needed. It's going to be first down, Waynesville. Got just what they needed there.
I was already shaking my head. It didn't look like it to me, but refs obviously much closer to the play than I was, so I'll go ahead and take their word for it.
Only about, let's see, we're on the 20 here, Garrett. It's only about, quick, add them up. Show me what you've learned.
You're trying to get me to do like trigonometry here or
it's
something
50
like
yards.
that.
They're 50 yards away from us here at the moment. I'm going to make you learn math by the end of the season, or at least how to count across midfield. We're on the 20, 30 yards in the midfield, and then 15 yards more. It's actually 45.
I was trying to
But now a
include
timeout's
the
gonna be called on the field.
triangulation between us and the ball and the distance from the
you're
field.
clearly,
but, oh well.
You're trying to you're throwing some layers into it. But hey, we've got a timeout here taken, I believe, by Central with 7:28 left to go here in this fourth quarter. So with the time we have, we're gonna go and keep it right here. You were the smart one apparently in school. But let's go ahead and take a look at some scores here from around the area. We got some updates for you. How about Kickapoo now trailing Lee's Summit West 14-10 here in this one in the third quarter. So that's the lone Ozark Conference team in the Class 6 side of things. A final score, we now know the winner of this game will face Lebanon. Of course, the Yellow Jackets, the number 2 seed, heavily favored in their contest with Branson. They win that one here tonight, 40-0. So 40-0 the score there. I think I have a differing score with you on the Rolla-Glendale game. I know you mentioned earlier, I have it 21-0 in favor of Rolla, but I think you said Glendale has scored to make it a 21-7 game, if I'm not mistaken. I'll have you go ahead and check on that. It's Parkview at the half, trails Republic 44-0. Bolivar over in Class 4 leads Hillcrest 21-0. And a score out of Nevada, the Tigers. Of course, I have a couple different Tigers. I have the Waynesville Tigers who lead here tonight 18-0. Nevada Tigers, they currently lead Harrisonville at the half 28-7. So we'll get you that update on the Rolla-Glendale score here as soon as Garrett can track it down for you. But we're back to action here on the field. 7:28 left to go in this fourth quarter. Waynesville leading Central 18-0. Again, a first down and 10. Tallahassee into the ball game. He's going to get his first carry. Maybe pushes forward for a couple yards here, if anything. Yeah, they're going to give him about 2, maybe a long 2. It'll be second down and 8.
And to clarify, that game is right now the Rolla Bulldogs, I should say, versus the Glendale Falcons. Rolla leading that one 21-7. Very recent It looks like pending maybe a penalty on that play, but I do have a picture of the scoreboard right now.
It says 21-7.
That says 21-7.
And we all know that that is concrete proof. So
I'll further confirm if I can.
We'll, of course, get several more updates before the night is done. Man sent in motion here. It's going to be a handoff to the wing back. Thomas Plummer, though, in some trouble, still trying to fight his way through several Bulldogs. But, yeah, it's just not going to work out this time. Kind of moving backwards here. Might have actually lost himself. We'll see how much they truly say he lost. All the way back to the 40, a loss of 7 on the play, is trying to go for that jet sweep. Trying to make something happen, ends up losing about 7. So it's going to be 3rd and 15 here, halfway through the 4th. But Waynesville facing that 3rd down and long. Haven't seen too many situations like this here tonight for the Tigers.
No, and before this game, we had seen a lot of situations like that for the Tigers. So you can tell that they're building something. They're avoiding major penalties. They're avoiding, other than that last run by CTP, major blow-ups in the backfield. They're doing what an offense like this has to do to win games.
Tao Ossie again on the carry here as he's going to run into some trouble. Just not able to find those outside rushing lanes as forward momentum is going to be called. Shakes him off in the end, but it's only going to be a moral victory for him as the whistle's already blown. It's going to be another loss here, and that's going to be 4th down, and they're going to say another 5 yards lost, so 4th down and 20. I think they'll just go ahead and punt it away here. Put Central as far back into their own territory as they can.
I think that's the smart move for sure. I also do want to say it was good, or it is good, I should say, to see Aussie back into the game right now. He's been making plays on defense, not necessarily filling the stat sheet, but he's been the guy who is filling all the gaps, forcing the Bulldogs to kind of run outside. Has been doing all of the things necessary, so I'm glad he gets to fill the stat sheet a little bit here on the offense.
Godwin's punt, going to be another short one. Waynesville's going to let it bounce. It takes a friendly Tigers hop as it rolls to about the 21-yard line or so. So it's going to be about a 24-yard punt. Net 24 yards, I should say. About 31 from where, of course, Godwin was standing. But that does put the Bulldogs 79 yards away from their own end zone, trailing by 3 scores here. Waynesville leading this one 18-0 with 4:55 on the clock. So Waynesville, again, it's time to finish this one up. 4 minutes on the clock. Central does have 2 timeouts, if I'm not mistaken. They don't have timeouts up on the board here, but I do believe that previous timeout was taken by Central. So 2 timeouts for them to spend here. Waynesville trying to keep him out. 1st down and 10. Starks Fue going to hand it off here. It's going to be McShane on the carry. He's roped down behind the 20. And that's going to be another loss here. Running back's not really having a good time here at the moment. 2 big losses there for Waynesville. And now a loss here on the first play of the drive here for Central. Because really, Waynesville's run defense tonight has been superb. Has really kept Tayshawn McShane from really doing anything today. Loss of 3, by the way. It'll be 2nd and 13.
It has. The first half had us probably a little bit worried, especially in the first quarter, but ever since then, these Tigers have pinned back their ears and gone after the ball carrier.
Starks Fue going to tuck it and run here, trying to look towards the air, but instead only able to get back to about the 20, maybe the 21, maybe the original line of scrimmage. Just didn't have an open receiver there, as this defense is about as good as Waynesville's defense has looked all season long. Has kept that 0 on the board here with 4 minutes left to go. And it really just seems like they've had Central pegged tonight. A couple of missteps here and there. Like you said, that first drive was awfully spooky, but Halloween themed. But since then, they have looked awfully comfortable here today. Waynesville sending the house here. Starks Fue under immediate pressure. Aussie not able to find the sack here, but Starks Fue still trying to move backwards. Just going to lob one up here. That ball is going to be incomplete. As both Waynesville and Central, I'd say, had an equal chance of coming down with that one. Ultimately, the turf claims that one for its own. 4th down upcoming here. 4th down and 9.
Not the best decision right there by Antonio.
Starks Fue.
He's got so many last names. Starks Fue.
Hyphenated.
Not the greatest decision right there. I mean, if that ball is picked, that could pretty much ice the game right there. I know you want to make a play. I know you want to have a big defining comeback moment, but that is not done by throwing a ball 100 feet
almost
into
higher
the
than
air.
the punt we saw earlier in that 3rd quarter, the sky punt coming from Central here. But with time ticking down here, I'm curious to see if Central maybe just goes for it. Last gasp. Trailing by 3 scores here again. We know Waynesville has had trouble closing out those games. I don't want to invoke it now, but It was a 19-point lead lost in 6 minutes a few weeks ago at Bolivar. This about half that time, but they are going to go for it. I would certainly say so. You're definitely running out of time. You got to make that play now. There's going to be a penalty, so 4th down and 4, by the way. Kind of talked our way through it. Starks Fue going to go towards the air again. That ball's going to be tipped, and it falls incomplete. And that'll be a turnover on downs here for Waynesville. They'll take control with 3:27 on the clock. Ball on the central 27-yard line. So maybe time to go for the exclamation point, Garrett, and try to really put the stamp on what has been a fairly controlling and dominant victory here tonight.
Yeah, I heard a term a couple of days ago called a low-scoring blowout, and if they score again here, that might get into that territory. Not a shootout, not anything that you're going to write home about it, that the offenses have been spectacular, 50-yard bombs down the field, but this is still, in the own Waynesville fashion, been domination.
Starks Fue going to go towards the air here. Wait a second, I might have missed something there.
Possibly a penalty.
Yeah, I would say so. Again, apologies. Those flags have been kind of sneaky here tonight, but it is going to be a 1st down here for the Central Bulldogs. Pass across the middle. I'm really trying to pick up the pieces here, and I'm sorry. We really have had trouble. Central going to the air once again. Kind of a quick no-huddle offense here, but this one's going to fall incomplete. Trying to find his favorite target tonight. Across the middle, trying to find Vaughn once again. Pass is underthrown. It'll be 2nd down and 10. So let's go ahead and reset. Wouldn't be a broadcast if you just don't have one mistake. Mistakes happen.
Of course.
2nd down and 10. Ball on the 39-yard line here. Waynesville still leading 18-0. 3:07 on that clock. Maybe that pass was caught. I'm not quite sure. I'm trying to pick up the pieces here. I really am.
I'm debating between trying to figure out what happened or just moving on. I think at this point, it's better just to move it on and call the game as we see it here. This little bit confusing right now, but
and here we go. I think another penalty called here on Waynesville. Offsides penalty. Move them up 5 yards.
That's something they've avoided pretty well so far.
Starks Fue going up the left sideline here. That ball's underthrown. That ball's going to be picked off here by Waynesville. Tackled immediately, but that's a big interception down the left sideline. One-on-one coverage, and who comes down with it? Bishop Godwin on the interception. Godwin coming back up on that one, made the catch, and that will pretty much, I think, barring some kind of craziness, really put this one away here for Waynesville. 2nd interception of the game. They've got the ball here at about the central the Waynesville 32-yard line.
Yeah, I'm not willing to call this one over quite yet. The Bolivar game kind of giving me some flashbacks right now. Don't want to commit to anything fully quite yet, but Bishop Godwin getting a pass to perhaps seal a playoff victory. It's a good storyline right there.
Central still with some timeouts here. Carry here on 1st down. Good for maybe a yard. Michael Kelsey Jr. on the carry. And here comes a timeout, another timeout taken by the Bulldogs here of Central. So, Central not going quietly into the night. They still got timeouts, and they're going to use them. That'll be, I believe, their 2nd timeout of the half. We'll go ahead and keep it locked in right here. Maybe I need a break. Maybe I've got the hiccups here, Garrett. But now knowing what we know now,
right?
We know it's going to be Lebanon next week. And so, what lessons maybe do you carry from this game? I know, obviously, Lebanon is a completely different beast. Lebanon, of course, heavily favored to win the Ozark Conference. Definitely had that setback against Camdenton, but now looking dominant once again over Branson. What are kind of the lessons you maybe carry from this game on to the next?
I think the first thing you have to carry in, and I can get into X's and O's maybe a little bit later in the post game, but the main thing is just the knowledge that you can. I mean, the Waynesville Tigers definitely saw wrong Bulldogs. Central running back and forth around the field. They no doubt felt outmatched and overwhelmed, but they were able to stay within their lane, play the way that they know how, come out with the victory. Lebanon's intimidating, but they can, and if they focus, could win the ball game as long as they keep going and pushing forward.
Kelsey Jr. moving forward for a couple yards, but the first time tonight I've actually seen that flag thrown. There is a flag on the play. Like I said, it's been tricky. We're having to work around several poles, the windows tonight. Oh, it's just not been a night for me to remember. I'm usually pretty good about that, all things considered, except on touchdown plays. But there is a flag. It's going to be holding called against Waynesville here.
Procedure penalty against the Tigers.
Procedure penalty. Now, of course, which penalty it is still remains to be seen. But it is going to back him up here to around the 26-yard line. So,
Worth noting at least, though it might not have a lasting impact on the game, that's 3 penalties in the past couple of plays for the Tigers. Might not ruin the game for you, but you're not thrilled to see it.
Waynesville definitely a little bit sloppier here in these last few minutes than the previous 3 quarters here. 3rd down and 15. Gonna hand it off to CTP. Rushing hard to around the 34-yard line. Although CTP still down here. Gonna hop up though. Just hanging out on the ground for a little bit there. Enough to scare us. Of course, CTP would be a huge loss to this offense, but able to get 9, 4th down and 6. Most likely, Waynesville just going to punt this one away. Not much to gain from trying to go for it here, 4th down, when you're up by 3 scores in your own territory.
And especially with under 2 minutes left here.
I say that, but here comes David Vernon. Conventional wisdom would say you probably just punt it away here. But they are going to rush to the line here. They are going to try to go for it on 4th down and 6.
Try to close this game out right here.
Vernon going to keep it himself here. Moving to his right. Moves forward. I think he might have gotten it. He's certainly going to at least be close. Pushing and shoving after the fact. Well, now we're going to have flags. As maybe this isn't the way you want to close out the game. With pushing and shoving and just general roughhousery. But we'll see where the flag comes in. It was enough for the 1st down. Pre-flag.
It is no doubt tough,
But we'll see.
to go in to this game as the 3 seed. You're 7-2 on the season.
Let's see where the flag comes in. Although you are certainly right. The emotions for seniors, this is your last game. Maybe not going the way you want it to go, or maybe even these last few minutes for Waynesville not really going the way you want to go. You're still looking for that. You're still looking for that exclamation point. And you know, emotions just run high sometimes. You got to control them. And you know, it just is what it is. It's going to be a dead ball personal foul against Waynesville. Definitely no reason for that. You know what I always say about it. You're winning by 18. Why try to prove your point any other way? And that's going to back him up here.
Yeah, and
So really, go ahead.
Well, we can give all the excuses in the world. It's been frustrating the past couple of minutes, but at the end of the day, you can't do it. No in-depth analysis, nothing like
You just
that.
can't
You
do it.
simply cannot have penalties like that.
Yeah, there's never really an excuse for a personal foul there like that. And of course, you're going to have to cut that down coming into the Lebanon game because that's just 3 yards. You had the 1st down. You proved yourself. You're not going to prove anything by pushing and shoving. You're just not. So, nothing more to be said about that. It'll be 4th down and 13. 1:32 still on the clock. Although, it is a dead ball foul. So hold on. It might still be 1st down.
We have
We're still talking things over with the officials down the field. As the Waynesville coaching staff, I believe, is talking with that side judge.
this would be a great time for us to bring on a sideline reporter.
Yeah, honestly. Mike, if you're listening at home,
Yeah. Give us a third over here.
we need a third. Give us a third, give us a monitor, get some instant replay going. We'd be set for life.
A drone, maybe a
It is
sky
gonna be-
cam or two.
It is going to be 4th down, by the way. 4th down and a long, long time to go. Ball on the 24-yard line. Bishop Godwin on to punt. Punts it away. Solid punt. Fair catch going to be called. But the ball's going to be muffed. Who's going to fall on it? I think Central may have gotten to it. The return man, do believe, got to it. And so the Bulldogs will take over there. And about, that looks to be their own 35-yard line. Maybe just a bit in front of it.
No doubt a scary moment for the returner right there. I could not imagine the mini heart attack whenever you are just you have the ball in your hands and then it's gone. That has got to be terrifying for any return man.
Yeah, absolutely. So here come the Bulldogs. It'll be 1st down and 10. My chest is clutching. 1st down and 10. 4 wide receivers. 3 to the right. Snap is going to be low here. Still able to rush out to his right. Still looking for a target. That's a new quarterback in the game. Going to lob one up. It falls out of bounds. It'll be incomplete. 2nd down and 10. New quarterback into the game. Donovan Martin going to take things over. He's a sophomore. a rare player who's listed as 3 different positions: quarterback, cornerback, and punter as well.
Great defense on the play as well there by Michael Baker. Earlier on in the season, that would have been a hit that was delivered too soon. It would have been a pass interference. But able to get the hands up, try to get his head around, and just kind of interfere with the pass, but not pass interference.
Yes, definitely great pass coverage there on the pass up the sideline. Again, here comes the rush. Going to flip the pass out, caught by Hurd. Hurd juking to his left here as he comes across the 35. Maybe a yard or so. Nice thought there by Martin. Definitely looking for something maybe a bit deeper down the field. Ends up having to check down to his target, but a nice little Mahomes flip pass. It's kind of not really a traditional pass where you're going overarm, just kind of pushing it out with the side. Kind of like a sidearm in baseball. I guess would maybe be a roundabout way?
Shovel pass?
Yeah, shovel pass.
Term?
That's exactly the term. Thank you. You wouldn't think I was a quarterback once. Here comes Miller rounding out to his right. He's going to tuck it and run. He's going to keep it himself. Stood up here by Aussie as he goes out of bounds. Past the 45 to about the 47. That's going to be enough for the first down. 32.3 here on the clock. Definitely pretty much all done and dusted here. It would be some kind of miracle, I will say, if you could score 3 touchdowns in 30 seconds. Not unheard of. I do believe there's a few viral YouTube videos of this exact thing happening. But that's why they're viral. First down and 10. Ball on the Central 47. Miller taking the snap, faking the handoff. Flushed out of the pocket, moving over towards his left. Now going to go towards the sideline here. Pass is caught. Still on his feet, coming across the middle of the field here. Eventually taken down from behind, though. Trying to find some empty space here, but Miguel Escobedo catches him from behind. Nice job there by the defensive lineman to hustle it up and catch up to the wide receiver running full speed across the field. You love to see plays like that. It's going to be a gain of 9. Second down and 1. Timeout's going to be called here, I do believe, by Central. So Central going to take its final timeout. 18.6 seconds left on the clock here. And again, Waynesville leading by 18-0 here. So, again, assuming no shenanigans happen in these next 18 seconds, Waynesville will head to Lebanon. A short trip down I-44 for the Tigers next week. And, of course, that means we'll be right alongside them. Garrett, he'll just wait for me in Lebanon. He'll find me there. Hopefully he won't hold me up at the gate once again. Hopefully no pranks await me there. But we'll have pregame for you at 6:30, and we'll have kickoff at 7 p.m. So it'll be business as usual. But, of course, we'll be live once again from Lebanon, who, of course, handled Branson here tonight 40-0. So big win for the Yellow Jackets. Of course, we'll get the other scores for you as well. Of course, the scores from not only our bracket, but several others as well. When we move to postgame here after these next 18 seconds. But Central not going down here without a fight. 3 wide receivers set to the right. Miller taking the snap here, backing off. Roman to his right. Chase now going to move up in the pocket. Now going to cross the line of scrimmage. Needs one, going to get one. As he's going to be out of bounds with 10.4 seconds left to go. And I definitely like this here from Central. You know, Central, first winning season in several years. We're 4-5 last season, and of course then the previous several years, 0-10. 7-2 this year. You love to see them play to the final whistle here, because this is a program on the rise. They really are. They earn those wins. They come up with big wins all season long, and they're really starting to prove themselves. This is not the Central of years past. I don't know how to stress that anymore. Obviously, Waynesville held, last time we saw the Central team, 83-0. Tonight, just 18-0. Miller again looking to pass. Steps up in the pocket, trips and falls, and tackled from behind. Coming up on him there for the quarterback sack. And time, that was Jonathan Hubbard coming in from behind. 4.5 seconds left on the clock here. And that'll be a timeout once again here on the field. So, Central going to take another timeout here with 4.5 seconds left to go. And it's clear that Central's trying to get that goose egg off the board. Continuing to go to the air here, sending the receivers deep. They're really just trying to avoid the shutout here tonight. Just playing to that final whistle. But Waynesville, well, you're a team that's given up 50, 40, 30 several times. They want this shutout badly. 2 teams still kind of playing for some pride points here at the end of the game. You love to see it.
You're absolutely correct. And, of course, Lebanon getting that shutout in Branson tonight. likely Waynesville's next opponent. So,
Well,
of
yeah,
course.
they're 100% Waynesville's next opponent. It's a bracket.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, unless anything crazy happens on the field right now. I'm just covering all the bases here. But anyway, a lot of people are going to be picking Lebanon in that game, and Waynesville would love to stand on a shutout and say, hey, we shut out a team too. We belong in this second round of the playoffs.
Absolutely. So Waynesville going to come out, prevent defense here. Miller going to bobble the snap, going to flip it off. It's going to be a wide receiver run here. Moving forward, that's going to be Ndongi here as he's going to be taken down at about the 28-yard line. So the shutout is held up as Waynesville will move on to the second round of district playoffs. They come through. They pull off the seed upset here tonight over the number 3 seeded Central Bulldogs here at 18-0. So Waynesville improves to 3-7 here on the season. We're going to do what we always do. Win or lose, we're going to go ahead and take 2 minutes. We're going to come back. We're going to go through your post-game summary, your scoring summary here tonight. And then, of course, we'll set you all up for tomorrow's action. So we're going to go ahead and take ourselves 2 minutes. We'll be back here in just a moment. You're listening to Waynesville Tiger Football right here on Z102.3.
I did not know that.
Back here to Harrison Stadium and, of course, Curry Sports Complex here as well. This one is in the books. Waynesville, they move on to the second round of district playoffs here tonight as they defeat the Central Bulldogs 18-0. Connor Harbin here with you today. Garrett Bowles, of course, going ahead and working on the stats here in this one as we take a look at your quick scoring summary. 3 touchdowns tonight, all picked up by the Tigers of Waynesville. Waynesville first got on the board. It was a 44-yard touchdown run up the left sideline for Michael Kelsey Jr., getting himself on the board here early. Of course, a failed 2-point conversion meant it was 6-0 Waynesville in that second quarter. Of course, we would have to wait a few minutes for Waynesville's next touchdown, but it would be Chase Thomas Plummer punching his way in for the next Tigers score. Another failed 2-point conversion made it 12-0. That was a score we take into the locker rooms there at the half. After the break, of course, one more touchdown to be had here for Waynesville, and that would be David Vernon, third Tiger to score a touchdown on the day. Vernon, he was able to punch it in from short. He was able to punch it in, I believe, from about 3 yards out. We'll have, of course, Garrett confirm that here in just a moment, as it is escaping my mind here. It was a third down and goal situation, but Vernon definitely found his way in there to make it our final score of 18-0 here tonight. So Waynesville improves to 3-7 on the campaign. That means they'll move on to the second round of the district playoffs, where of course they will face off against the Lebanon Yellow Jackets. We'll take another time out here again. Apologies for some technical issues. I understand that maybe we had some internet problems somewhere, but we are back. You know how the internet works sometimes. We'll take 2 minutes. We'll come back for you. You're listening to Tiger Football right here on Z102.3. And once again, back out here in Springfield, this one in the books. Again, Waynesville moves on to the second round of district football as they take down the Central Bulldogs 18-0 here in what Garrett really described as a low-scoring blowout. And I think that's really an apt term here for this one. Central definitely played hard, played aggressive, and definitely, like I said, this is a program on the rise, but Waynesville really had it under control here tonight, especially on that defensive side of the football. Let's go ahead and go over some yardage, though, because Waynesville, the offense was nothing to sneeze at. 3 scores here tonight. Who were the outputs tonight?
Well, it was a great game from, of course, the usual suspects. I mean, Michael Kelsey Jr., the sophomore, has come in and been absolutely incredible on the year. We sing his praises week after week after week, and it's well-deserved. He closes the game out with 117 yards and a touchdown on the ground. And, of course, CTP, number 18, Chase Thomas Plummer, ended the first half with just 53 yards. He's going to close out this game with 129 as well as 2 scores for a total team rushing total and total scrimmage yards, so including passing as well here, of 261 yards. It was a great day on offense for the Tigers, and the defense, nothing to sneeze at either on the Tigers for the day, only giving up around 125 scrimmage yards to the Bulldogs, who did show flashes and are without a doubt a team that is going to be a force to be reckoned with in the coming years. No doubt about that. But right now, Tiger football just a little bit more advanced on the season and on the prestige.
Two teams that are really looking to make improvements throughout the course of the season. Of course, Central, they were able to handle a lot of opponents this year. But, of course, Waynesville, they've had some close games this year. Maybe, like I said, a couple wins, maybe a couple losses that should have been wins, I guess I should say. You really had them in control until they suddenly weren't. This is a good game for Waynesville to have. They were in control, they stayed in control, and they'll find their way on into that second round to take on Lebanon. Speaking of Lebanon, Let's go over some district scores here before we go ahead and close things out here tonight, not only in Class 5, District 5, but maybe some other scores of interest from around our area. How about Lebanon? Like we've mentioned several times tonight, Lebanon does handle Branson tonight 40-0, so that will be Waynesville's next opponent, 30 miles down I-44 over to the home of the Yellow Jackets next week. We'll talk about that here in just a moment, but again, they win tonight 40-0. Rolla leading Glendale. That would be an upset seed-wise. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and say it, maybe an upset team-wise there as well. The Bulldogs trying to come in, trying to knock off a Glendale team that, again, gave Camdenton their first loss of the season last week. They are leading that one 27-13. That is in the fourth quarter. So we'll see if we get some late Falcon heroics. They certainly had them last week, but now trailing by 2 scores here, they're going to need it if they want to come through and beat Rolla here tonight. Class 6, Kickapoo trailing Lee Summit West 21-10 in their district game. Class 5, District 6, Republic handles Parkview here tonight 52-8. The Willard Neosho game, by the way, I know you're maybe curious about that one. Willard has not scored. Neosho has scored 14, so it is 35-29. Just a 6-point ball game there between Willard and Neosho. Class 4, District 6, Bolivar moves on with a 42-0 victory over Hillcrest here tonight. And again, Nevada, well, they do give up a couple touchdowns in the final few minutes, but they do still handle Harrisonville tonight, 42-21. So again, Waynesville at Lebanon next week. Round 2 of the district playoffs. We will go ahead and carry that one for you. Of course we will. We're going to cover as far as Waynesville goes here this season. So we will have 6:30 pregame, and we will have 7 o'clock kick right here on Z102.3. Make sure you don't miss it. Garrett and I will be there to call all of the action. So we're going to go ahead and close things out here tonight. For Coach back in the studio, I am Connor Harbit. For my partner Garrett Bowles, hope you enjoyed listening to this one as much as I enjoy bringing it to you here tonight. Until next week, you've been listening to Waynesville Tiger Football right here on Z102.3. Good night, everybody. Be good people.